Our Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
on Sacktown Sports.
Yes, it is. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Anthony behind the glass for us again today. Kyle Ledbetter will be back on Monday, and we are going to have some fun today because it's Friday. And I'm not going to sit here and let the Sacramento Kings make us sad, make us mad. There's too much going on in the world of basketball and in the sports world in general. Speaking of the Sacramento Kings, though, they did announce their next round of Kings pre-draft workouts. So, well, more so, I don't know if Chris Watkins will be in the building again or anybody from the station. We'll double check on that. But, some of the names you got, Zakai Ziegler from Tennessee, 5'9", so let's just sign him right now. He's my guy. Let's just sign him right now. He's a playmaker. Jalen Moore out of Oklahoma. You have Ben Henshaw out of Perth. Cameron Matthews out of Mississippi State. RJ Felton out of East Carolina. So, just some names maybe you've heard. And by the way, I already looked this up. RJ Felton, cousin to Raymond Felton. Not his son, but his cousin. So we will keep an eye on all of that as we take you up to 2 p.m. But, there's a ton going on as far as the NBA playoffs are concerned. Going to talk some NFL sleepers as well, because when we discuss the Raiders, and we're going to discuss who's in a worse spot, the Raiders or the Kings. That's always a fun one. When we discuss the Raiders or the Niners, the AFC South, it's what it's turning into is my secret take that will be revealed later in the offseason is that I think the AFC South might be respectable. And that is going to be rough on teams like the Raiders when I'm telling you guys to take the over on the 7.5, and even the Niners, right, with their 10.5 over under. So we got some NFL sleepers to talk about. I've seen the light with DeMar DeRozan. I've seen the light. Now, when we go through these discussions, it might come off, and I'm going to need a sanity check from Anthony throughout the show. It might come off like I'm trying to pawn off DeMar DeRozan. It might come off that way, but that's not what it is. What I feel like I've been privy to this whole time from talking to Kyle, but really my eyes have been open to, that DeMar DeRozan is really good. And if he's put in the right situation, he can still help someone. He can still help a team. The question is, will that team be okay with what DeMar brings? And will DeMar be okay with a changing landscape for him? But I think teams are out there. And there's one closer than you think. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Because bleep it, that's why. It's Friday. So you do not want to miss. I have DeMar going a couple different places, but this one in particular, it really could be that simple. Might sound crazy, but that's what Fridays are for. So we are going to break down all that. Of course, we have a trade target. Here we go with the trade target hint for today. Point guard in the East that Allen is really high on. A lot of people think he's a bit overrated. He can put up huge numbers. Point guard in the East. Allen is on the train that this kid could be a superstar. He is, I wouldn't say widely known as overrated, but there are a good amount of people out there that think he's overrated. And I don't even want to say this next hint because it's going to give it away. On a team that's kind of a complete disaster. How about that? I want people to figure it out. The team is a complete disaster. Eastern Conference point guard, can score the basketball at a high level. Allen's always been really high on him. Others are not as high on him. Think he might be a little bit overrated, including Anthony, which I just found out before the show. So that is coming up at 11, and we have a couple different deals, some that you may like, some that you may not like, and we will discuss all of that. Let's slow our roll, though, on the dynasty talk with Oklahoma City Thunder. I saw reports today, as we get right on into it, I saw reports today that Shea might be the best Thunder ever, Oklahoma City Thunder player ever, won MVP. They technically have not gone to the finals yet, right? Obviously, Kevin Durant, they lost in the finals, but they haven't gone to the finals yet. And maybe we can have that conversation once they do, whether they win it or not, but they haven't done that yet. So it's just, it's the same thing that we try to do where now everyone, because he won MVP, is going to try to overcorrect himself. When last week, a lot of people thought Jokic should have won. I was in the camp that I thought SGA should have won because I'm just very classic. I'm very get off my lawn, best player, best team. Let's just keep it simple, unless there's something that's just outrageous. And this wasn't. If anything, Shea's numbers were outrageous. It's just Jokic was outrageous too. So I've been on Shea's side in that regard, but we got to chill with the dynasty talk because we've seen this before, and the best player talk. We've seen this before. We've seen flashes before. I think Shea's going to be good for a really long time, but we have to see it. We were doing it with, how about this? Anthony Edwards, we're going to talk about this about 4 minutes. Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves last week were the belle of the ball. Now people are saying that they're going to have to blow it up. Also, everybody has to blow it up except for the teams that actually should blow it up. So the Timberwolves have to blow it up. The Thunder have to blow it up. These teams actually have good players. No disrespect. These teams actually have elite players. But somehow the Kings are not blowing it up. The Hawks, well, I don't know what the hell the Hawks are doing. The teams that should be blowing it up are not blowing it up. But the Timberwolves, who are in the Western Conference Finals, and the Thunder, who won a championship not too long ago and took possibly the eventual champion to Game 7, they got to blow it up. What a topsy-turvy world that we're living in. But we got to chill with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and, the best Thunder play. And you can make the argument. I'm just saying, can we just let it play out? Why do we have to do it now? Why do we have to do it right now? So we will break all that down. And as I'm sitting there watching last night, not very entertaining at all. Who would have thought the Eastern Conference just was giving us just ridiculous playoff series, even with the injuries? And I know all of the first round playoffs were good. Second round, Steph getting hurt kind of ruined that situation. And Thunder Nuggets, that was a really good series. But I'm trying to figure out whether or not the West was fraudulent or if they just got injured. Somebody said, we got to be honest with ourselves when it comes to the Timberwolves. They had a perfect matchup against the Lakers, and the Lakers, their roster isn't great. They have LeBron and Luka, but their roster isn't very balanced, right? And then they face a Warriors team without Steph. Like, that's the reality of the situation. Now, I do think that if the Warriors are here, the Warriors get mopped by the Thunder too. But if we remember how game one looked, even though it's just one game, the Warriors are probably in the Western Conference Finals. So you have that situation going on with the Timberwolves. Obviously, Thunder Nuggets, they were just on another level. The Lakers, as the 3 seed, like I just said, that roster wasn't really good outside of, Austin Reeves. That wasn't it's not a great fit. They got to figure it out. Austin Reeves might get moved, but Austin Reeves, Luka, and LeBron, they started Jackson Hayes one game, then the next game he didn't play, and JJ Redick played the same people for 4 days straight or whatever it was. So that was the 3 seed. The Rockets were that classic team that's just really young and hungry, and okay, here you go, here's a 2 seed because the rest of the West is old. It's old. The Clippers, they were supposed to be the sexy team. They lost to the Thunder. So I'm trying to figure out if the West was actually fraudulent. And I always mention what Whitey Gleason told me when we were talking about the Western Conference last season. And I said, man, look at this, Whitey. there are so many teams and they're so close. It's got to be one of the, you look at the stars, this is the toughest West in decades, right, in the NBA. And Whitey said, there are a lot of good teams. I don't know how many great teams are there. We know Oklahoma City is great. We know Jokic is great, and that makes the Nuggets great. But outside of that, and he said that last year, of course, but this season, you have the Warriors who are terribly unbalanced. Steph gets hurt, Jimmy gets hurt, one of them gets hurt, they're done. They're depending on Moses Moody, who had to get thumb surgery, by the way, so that's why he couldn't shoot for anything. So that's one of the sleeper teams. The Clippers, you have James Harden, who is the playoff choke artist, and that's what he did in Game 7. So was the West actually fraudulent? We know the East. Nobody overvalues the East. That's why I'm not going to call the East fraudulent, because nobody overvalues the East. A lot of us thought we were comparing the Cavs to the Hawks back in the day with Jeff Teague, and for a majority of it, we were right. I know they were injured, but they literally did what they did. Darius Garland can't stay on the floor. They just couldn't stay healthy. It was a mess. So was the West fraudulent? Or are the two best players in the NBA right now just a cut above the rest? And that Thunder team, a team that is a cut above the rest. Are we in a collision course for a terrible finals? Because the Thunder are just that much better. Or is the West maybe outside of the Thunder just a little fraudulent? Let's talk those T-Wolves when we return. 4 hours with you, Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Memorial Day celebration comes early at Elk Grove Honda. There's no need to wait for Memorial Day weekend to see, test drive, and purchase your brand new Elk Grove Honda. Civic hybrids, Accord hybrids, CRV hybrids, and Pilots, Passports, Odysseys, HRVs, Prologue EVs, and so much more. They're all available right now at attractive prices. Whether you're looking to own or lease and can't wait until Memorial Day, visit Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. We have the right Honda at the right price.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Look, things happen fast in the NBA. And that's what's so crazy about this, not to, I guess, be pessimistic or negative on a Friday, but we talked about this before, comparing NBA teams and just teams in general, unless you have one of those dudes, to Bar Rescue and John Taffer, right? So many bars are struggling, and you see one that works, or restaurants as well, and you think, man, it's not something that you typically see. Good for them. By the way, I will not say this, and I'll give you more hints to this, because like I said, it's a Friday. So my mom is in town. Wifey is on a girls' trip, so she's enjoying herself. And my mom is in town to help out a little bit. And my mom really likes this place. And you know what? If you guess this place, all power to you, because I don't care. My mom really likes this place. You know how people just like random stuff? It's not a super nice place, but she likes it, and I wanted to be a good son. There are much better places I could have taken her to, but I said, okay, this is what you want to do. Let's go. Hint number one, a lot of them are closing, which is why she wanted to go. because in the Bay Area, they're not really out there anymore. One of the last ones just closed in the Bay Area. That's hint number one. Don't forget where I live, because that will help you with this hint. Hint number two, it's on the water. That's hint number two. Or it's a chain, okay? Hint number one, hint number two. So we went last night, and it was brutal. Brutal. And, I'm like, what's going on here? They talk about graduation. And, hey, oh, man, it's graduation, so it's rough. And they didn't have a high chair. They said, can she sit in a booster? I said, no, she can't sit in a booster. They said it'd be 5-minute wait, 10-minute wait, 30-minute wait. But if you talk to the owner, whoever, they'd be thrilled that they have people and customers willing to give you money. We actually took a couple bites, asked for a box, and got the hell out of there. That's how bad it was. I'm not going to say the name, though. So a lot of times I look at the NBA the same way I look at restaurants and how tough it is to stay competitive unless you have just one of those dudes. And the Timberwolves do. But life comes at you fast. Things happen very fast in the NBA. Last week, the Timberwolves had it all figured out. Julius Randle had taken a leap. Anthony Edwards was the next Jordan. Now they're down 2-0. Julius Randle was essentially benched. They could lose Naz Reid if he opts out. Nickeil Alexander-Walker will also be a free agent. And at the end of the season, people are now saying, I don't know, man, the Timberwolves might have to restart. You got the Nuggets, who have Nikola Jokic. Now it's coming out they are going to hold on to their pieces. But you read all the comments and they all say they're not winning a championship with this roster. What do you mean? They got Jokic. They got Aaron Gordon, the most coveted. Everybody needs an Aaron Gordon now. Jamal Murray, the best player to never be named an all-star in the last decade, not named C.J. McCollum, and probably more than C.J. McCollum. Michael Porter Jr. What do you mean? What do you mean they have to blow it up? So you spend all this time working for something, and just like that, it could all go to the wayside. And if you're the Sacramento Kings in this situation now, it's almost an argument to just kind of stay where they are and hope that you get hot one season. Now, that's not typically how it goes, and they haven't. But you can see from a business standpoint, you build. Sometimes you still don't find the guy. I don't think the Hornets have found the guy. I do not think LaMelo Ball is the guy. Until that brother can play more than 50 games in a season, and he's 23, is he even 23? Then I don't think you found a guy. Maybe moving forward, he'll be able to play more games, but I don't know what's going on there. Brandon Miller, I don't know. He can't stay on the floor either. The Hornets have stunk for the last decade. Since Chris Paul left, they've stunk. But they've been looking. The Wizards, off the top of my head, oh yeah, Bradley Beal, John Wall, that wasn't too long ago. Yes, it was. It was a long time ago. So it comes down to, are you able to find that dude? And once you find that dude, if you're a fan, you better enjoy this and not take it for granted. And we had on a Denver writer last year who said the same thing, because it comes and it goes fast. The Timberwolves just went from the belle of the ball. And by the way, going back to the fraudulent thing, can we admit that was part of the problem? Can we admit that maybe, and I'm not saying Sacramento in general, but maybe the haterade for Steph Curry, can we admit that some of that bled into the fact that it just didn't get talked about enough? And I understand if somebody's not playing, you still got to go out there and you got to win the games. But Steph Curry is about 60 to 70% of the Warriors offense, and he didn't play. And that first game, which was just really weird in general, the Warriors were still tapped in from some Game 7, let's do it for Steph energy. and they won that game, which I think kind of skewed things, and they almost won game 3, sure, but the Timberwolves beat a team missing 70% of their offense, whether it's gravity, whether it's actual scoring, whether it's passing, and people like me tried to convince themselves that the Timberwolves had a chance against the Thunder. I will never disrespect the Thunder again.
I feel like they, going into the playoffs, I think most people had the same opinion as you and like the Thunder would just run through it at the beginning. I think everyone just knew that or thought that. And then seeing how much they struggled against the Nuggets, which on paper is not that great of a team, I think that people just underestimate how good Jokic is. Even watching, he doesn't look like eye test doesn't really do him justice sometimes because he's throwing up weird shots. So I can see where that comes from. But also the West is so even at all of these teams that are good, like you were saying earlier, and OKC is just not on that level. They are so far ahead of the rest of the West, in my opinion. And I think that the only reason the Nuggets series was so close was because of how good Jokic is. And even though he didn't even play that well, like it just kind of has that gravity, like you said, like Steph has that gravity as well. If that's gone, then what do you have there? It's just so it's weird.
How weird is this? If the Thunder sweep the Timberwolves, does that make, it depends on what Shea does, but does that make Shea look better or more deserving or an MVP or Nikola Jokic? Because he took that team to 7.
I think it already looks better for Shea because they beat the Nuggets in the playoffs. I think that the issue always comes from who makes it further in the playoffs. At least like historically, if you look at like the Embiid MVP over Jokic, that was the year Jokic won a finals MVP, if I'm not mistaken. So that looked really bad. But now if Shea wins finals MVP, I can't see anyone making the argument that looked very legitimate for Jokic to be MVP this year. I can't see anyone making that 5 years from now.
916-339-1140. And we're getting some guesses. We're getting more guesses on the restaurant than the trade candidate. And yes, you're all right. You're all right. But I'm not saying the name out of respect. And I still, I tipped well. Don't get me wrong. But man, oh man, that was rough. I honestly left a lot of stuff out. They did sing birthdays really well, though. I will say that. On the other side, let's have some fun and talk about Tyrese Haliburton and his pops. Should he be let back in if the Pacers go to the finals? Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall. I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Friday forecast, out the door to a cool start. You may need a jacket this morning. Heading through the afternoon, grab the shades. Mostly sunny skies, light southwesterly winds, and temperatures today in the low 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Take advantage of huge savings during our Memorial Day sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Allen Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, Brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. TJ McFarland out with that left adductor strain. Left game action after covering first base on a ground out. Manager Mark Kotze said an MRI revealed a grade 2 strain and that there will be some time missed. JT Ginn, out with that right elbow inflammation, will join the A's in San Francisco. Next step is a bullpen, and if all goes well, he will return to the rotation. This injury report was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Allen Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. And visit them at calldowntown.com.
The clock is ticking, Ethan.
Hey, movie fans, get ready for the ultimate summer blockbuster at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
I need you to trust me.
Filmed for IMAX, every mission has led to this. Feel every heart-pounding moment on Esquire IMAX's 6-story screen with thunderous audio. Grab your reserved seats now at IMAX.com/Sacramento. The Esquire IMAX Theater, the world's most immersive movie experience for Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
Advanced Infusion Center, where we prioritize your comfort and well-being. Whether you're managing a chronic condition or seeking specialized IV therapy, our state-of-the-art center offers tailored solutions to meet your needs. Advanced Infusion Center's dedicated healthcare professionals are here to ensure your safety and provide personalized care. Conveniently located in Sacramento and Yuba City with flexible scheduling options. Experience a new standard in infusion therapy. Visit Advanced Infusion Center today at advancedinfusion.com.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Get ready for a summer of music, comedy, and thrills with the Sacktown Sports Live events calendar. Kick it off with punk legends The Damned at Ace of Spades May 31st. Then laugh it up with comedian Kathleen Madigan at Hard Rock Live Sacramento June 7th. Country fans, mark your calendars. Whitey Morgan and the 78s roll into town June 19th, followed by jam-packed June 21st. Painted Love is at Ace of Spades. Lee Bryce and Walker Hayes are at Ironstone Amphitheater, and Penn and Teller are at Thunder Valley. Then it's 3 days of music and wine at the Country Summer Music Festival, June 27th through the 29th at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. Don't miss the tradition and thrills of the Folsom Pro Rodeo July 3rd through 5th, followed by country superstar Cody Johnson at Golden One Center July 18th. August brings legends. Catch Rick Springfield August 1st and Parker McCollum at the Ironstone Amphitheater June 16th. Grab your tickets now and don't miss a beat. Only with Sacktown Sports.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
916 talking about that Oklahoma City and Timberwolves series. That series ain't over till somebody loses on their home court. I think that thing is over. I think it's over. I think Minnesota could win one on. I think they might. I think they'll win one for sure at home. I don't know if they'll win two.
You think OKC in 5, like right now? Wow. I'm not that confident about anything.
No. It could be OKC in 6, but and I originally had Minnesota in 6. Kyle had OKC in 7. There's going to be an Ant game, right? Do they win that game? Ant's going to go for 40 in a game or more. Do they win that game? That's the game.
I mean, I'm looking back at when it was last year when the Celtics won a championship and the West got all messed up because Minnesota beat Denver and Denver should have been in the finals, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It's just because Minnesota can kind of pull that off sometimes because of Anthony Edwards. I don't like their offense very much. It's way too Anthony Edwards dependent. it's similar to New York and how Jalen Brunson dependent it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's super young, and sometimes he's one of the best players I've ever seen, and sometimes he's a young guy playing poorly. So
I mean, if you look at it like this, yeah, Julius Randle was terrible, but you get 22 from Jaden McDaniels. You get 17 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Anthony Edwards gives you 32. Naz Reid gave you 10, and it wasn't close. It wasn't close. I mean, sure, if you get 16 from Julius Randle, you're, instead of 6, so add 10, you still lose. It's a closer game, but you're not, if you said, hey, Jaden McDaniels is going to give you 22, Julius Randle is going to give you 15, Anthony Edwards is going to give you 32, you're going to get 17 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I think the Timberwolves would feel pretty good about that, and they still would have lost.
Yeah, I think that the main issue when watching that game was their defense and Julius Randle's production.
Yeah, Tim Legler was going in on that zone, the Minnesota Timberwolves zone. He just kept saying, I don't know why they're doing that. And then later in the game, they stopped doing it, and they almost made a game out of it. I don't know what they saw in game 1 that made them feel like that was the way to go, but there's nothing worse than trying to run a zone and just getting played. Like when a zone works really well, it's incredible. But when you're getting embarrassed in a zone, you look rough.
Yeah,
rough.
The thing is, I don't even think a zone was a bad idea. They just had their matchups weird, like outside of it, because they were running a matchup zone. So it was just so odd to watch it happen, because I think Richard Jefferson said it on TV. He's like, I think that the zone is okay. I just don't think they figured out how to rotate correctly through the zone, and they just couldn't figure it out. So maybe their coach was like, I'll give them time, and we'll switch it up later. But by the time they switched it up, it was way too late, in my opinion.
Well, hey, to that point, they still have time, technically. The series doesn't start until somebody wins on the road, which is always it always cracks me up. Okay, so OKC wins game 3. Is the series starting now that it's 3-0? What does that mean?
And they still have home court, so they were gonna win. If everyone won at home, then they still win.
What does that mean? Why do we say that?
It's like my favorite like old head thing that people say, like your friend's dad while you're watching basketball is first to 100 is going to win this game.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, man. Like, I know. Like, that's kind of a good rule of thumb. But and then they are like, I called it.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, you're right. But it's one of those old, like, adages that is correct. But it's funny to say out loud. It's a given.
Whoever has the ball last.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Whoever has the ball last is going to win this game. Give us your best old head isms. Doesn't have to be basketball. 916-339-1140. Speaking of old heads, Tyrese Haliburton's daddy was celebrating. Was he in a bar? I don't know. He still had the same towel. He was celebrating somewhere after game 1. And, of course, the Pacers are up a game on the Knicks, and they play today at 5. If the Pacers win the Eastern Conference Finals and go to the finals, should Tyrese Haliburton's father be allowed back in the building? This is a no-brainer for me. Yes. Look, there are some things and I haven't really had to do it yet, but and right now with toddler Styles, I have soft launched timeout, but it's not timeout. I just tell her to go look out the window. Like when she's freaking out, I'll just say, go look out the window. And she does it. It always surprises me that she actually listens. Just go look out the window. But you're doing things and you understand why you're doing it, but there are certain situations that supersede that. If she's annoying me, but her grandma from out of town is in town and the grandma wants to give, my mom is giving her ice cream at 3 p.m. That's not really how we get down, but it is what it is because she's helping out and it's grandma. That's what we do. That's fine. You can make exceptions. To me, based on the Pacers, based on Tyrese Haliburton, yeah, I'll say it. The money that he's bringing into Indiana, and this was a team thing, not a league thing. This is not even a question to me. His dad should be in the building. Now, do you say, hey, go sit in the you can't sit on the floor. You either have to be in the stands or you can here, I banish you to a suite, but you definitely have to you definitely have to let him back in. That's not even a question to me.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that even Giannis, like immediately after the fact, was like, we figured it out.
Yeah.
And I believe that after those kind of like interactions happen in any context, I just kind of, did you guys figure it out? I don't really, it looked bad, but I don't really care outside of that.
Right.
If you guys are fine, then I don't see any issue with him coming back out there. I don't think he's going to yell at another player like that.
You learned your lesson. You know, you weren't able to see, and I don't know how. Yeah, he can't go to home or away games, so you weren't able to see. You weren't able to be in Madison Square Garden when your son did one of the more iconic celebrations, or replicas of that celebration in that moment. You weren't able to be there. He suffered enough, in my opinion. If he does some stupid stuff again, then yeah, but we understand that, or we should at least understand, and I'll tell my kids this as well, life ain't fair, right? Some random Joe Schmo that got tickets and they're on the floor, and if they did that with Giannis, you can get banished for life, right? But there are certain things that you earn in life, and Tyrese Haliburton's dad, based on who he created, has earned the ability to learn from his mistakes. He missed all of he missed all of those games after they beat Giannis, right? Now they're here taking on the Knicks. You missed Madison Square Garden. I'm not even saying to bring it back now, but if they get to the finals, what are we even talking about? What are we talking about? All right, on the other side, what we are talking about, how quickly things can change in the NBA, and the Nuggets, the Celtics. We've heard this dynasty conversation before, but it ain't easy. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
Participating U.S. Wendy's. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Empower. Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are two new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
What's going on? I'm talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Chad, tell me what's happening for Chrysler's Employee Pricing Plus event.
You get the perk of being an employee without all the work, plus a little extra Hoblet discount on top of what everyone else has when you save up to $20,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Jeep Wagoneer S.
Now, I remember you saying how much your wife likes the Wagoneers.
It's true, and they are really nice. I'm super excited to be able to help you save so much so you can have one of your own. Plus, you get to experience our award-winning customer service. And remember to check out the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000. Whatever you're looking for, Hoblet has it.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
20,000 total net savings after 9,000 factory rebates and 11,000 dealer discounts, including employee pricing for all. Rebates may include 7,500 CDJ federal tax credit offered by third party and subject to change without notice. Consult a tax professional. 3 net savings. Sample VIN 6394. See dealer for details.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line.
That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Hello, I'm Frank Cock with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Everyone has a credit score from year-end Edna to our own Uncle Sam. Moody's lowered the bond rating of the U.S. government. This was done due to concerns about continued deficit spending and refinancing of existing debt at current higher rates. The 30-year bond yields increased above 5%, while 10-year treasuries rose above 4.5%. An investment analyst at Baird stated that this is not new information that many investors didn't already know about and continue their market bullishness for the next 12 months. The big, beautiful tax bill is being discussed in the House. Opponents state that it could add trillions to the deficit over the next decade, and cuts in benefits could offset cuts in taxes and increases in the child tax credit. The Council for Economic Advisors state that they expect to see take-home pay increases between $7,800 to $13,300 due to reduced taxes and potential increases in growth and wages from these tax cuts. The bill is far from final, so expect lots of discussion and many changes before the final decision is made and how it could affect Americans moving forward. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned and other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
Ready for your Memorial Day barbecue? We've got you covered. 20 ribeyes for $40 is back in town. Yes, 20 ribeyes for just $40 is back. Happening now this weekend in Sacramento at Fasteners Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road and in Rockland at RC Willie Home Furnishings. Enjoy crazy half-price bulk deals on steak, chicken, pork chops, and seafood. Stock up now on prices you haven't seen since 2019. Bulk family party packs to fill your freezer plus 20 ribeyes for $40 until sold out. 20 ribeyes for $40 huge truckload meat sale is going fast. Huge bulk deals on New York strips, filet, mega ribeyes, gourmet smash burgers, plus chicken and seafood. 20 ribeye steaks for just $40 and fill your freezer bulk deals while supplies last. All payments accepted. Cash, credit, debit, and EBT. Hurry out. This huge truckload meat sale won't last long. Happening right now this weekend only at Fasteners Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road and in Rockland at RC Willie Home Furnishings. On Facebook and Instagram at Essential Foods Direct.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Now I've said it could be outside of the NBA, it could be outside of sports. Just old head isms or stuff that your parents said that didn't, whether it made sense or not, it just kind of annoyed you, right? Different sayings. UPS Chris says better late than never. That drives me crazy. That doesn't bother me that much. What about never close an open door?
I like never burn a bridge, that kind of thing.
Never close. Well, what if the door pissed me off? Right? Never close an open door. This one, I got to be careful with this one because it's not in the Bible, but I know it has connections to religion. Me personally, I don't think everything happens for a reason. I don't. I'm sorry. Everything. Hey, you don't get a job. You get the text from your parents. Everything happens for a reason. Maybe, but I'm still broke right now. So that's a tough one. Everything.
Sometimes the door is just blue.
Yeah. Everything. Christopher Lott is in there.
He turned around.
He turned around. He said, be careful here. I'm just saying, everything. Here, now we have 50 old-fashioned sayings from my youth. There's a whole list, okay? And I don't know what these are.
Yeah, half of them aren't going to make any sense. They're not going to.
Half of these don't make sense.
Yeah.
quit poking around and hurry up.
I think there's a ton in sports though. Like, I don't know. I think everyone has that coach growing up that just like was in a different era.
Yeah, this is the wrong link. This is the wrong
some
link.
like clickhole article.
Number 19. Don't mind if I do. Meaning, I think I'll do that. Yeah, this is not
That's
what I.
AI. That's not real. Whoever wrote that's not a real person.
This is not what I meant. Okay, keep them coming in, whether you agree with them or not. Some of them you like. I do use never, because some of them you use, right? But when you hear them, I use never close an open door. I've used that on my friends before. Right, to say, hey, man, got that job opportunity, never close an open door.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it makes sense in certain contexts, but then, like, when you're 15 and, like, you're not friends with anyone anymore and your mom's like, never close an open door. It's like, I don't want to talk
I'm like, no, Mom, they're closing the door on me.
Yeah.
Like, that's
when it becomes an old head phrase.
Yes, that's what's happening. And I'll follow up. I say some things happen for a reason. That's what I personally say. Okay. Ward says, I hate when people say no problem. You're damn right. It's no problem. Why would it be? I've heard that before. And I actually was told when I was still in the kind of the tech world to not say no problem in emails because of what Ward just said.
Wow.
That it can come off like Ward said, oh, I'm letting you know there is no problem. And the other person could feel like, well, I didn't think there was a problem. Yeah.
I've never heard that. I say no problem all the time.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just
go-to.
saying. I'm just saying, no problem. Why would there be? Why would there be a problem? And there may be a problem. It's funny, we were just about to talk about the Celtics and Brett Siegel, who he's overdue for another stop on the Allen Stiles Show. But Brett Siegel is coming out with some information about the Celtics. And we were discussing the Nuggets, how things change very quickly in the NBA. And Brett Siegel is, no surprise there. I guess a bit of a surprise. They're saying that Jaylen Brown isn't going anywhere. Well, with Jason Tatum out, where would Jaylen Brown go this coming season? I think that obviously they were going to rock with Jaylen Brown still. But I think the question ultimately is, how long do they go, number one? And number two, how much of this is posturing, right? When this stuff gets leaked out, whether it's the Sixers and Paul George, whether it's the Celtics and Jaylen Brown or Derek White, how much of that is, no, we truly aren't moving them, versus everybody's got a price. And if they come out and say, yeah, we're open, let's hear it. Well, people aren't going to go in with their best offer, but if they're trying to break through, this person's not available, so let me give you an offer that might tickle your fancy. Okay, well, there's another.
There you go.
There's another old school
phrase
right there. That might tickle your fancy. How much of this, it's hard to tell how much is real and how much is posturing.
Yeah, it is an interesting situation with the Celtics because I don't want to act like they're bad. Like, I don't think that, like, obviously an Achilles is a big deal, but Jason Tatum is relatively young. I think that they'll be fine. I don't think they should blow it up. So maybe they are getting out ahead of it, where people are going to be like, maybe they're going to fire sale. Let's see if we can lowball them.
Yeah.
And then they say, we're not getting rid of anyone, but really their phone lines are still open,
Right.
And they'll listen to offers. But I think that they need to preserve their value. Like Derek White was who people talked about before Aaron Gordon. Everyone needs a Derek White, that kind of thing. So don't get rid of Peyton Pritchard or any of those guys, because they still have some of the best role players in the NBA who fit that system really, really well, even if the system is flawed. And I assume they'll fix it. I think Joe Mazzulla is a smart guy, but I don't see them getting rid of people. And if they do, I can't imagine it being cheap.
Well, I think the whole thing is, and we're going to, I'm sure there's a documentary. I'm sure there's a documentary coming out about Jason Tatum and his comeback. I know I just saw a trailer for Kyrie's with his ACL. And the conversation is going to be, hey, where are we at in the East? The East isn't very good. They could probably, with a Jaylen Brown-led Celtics team, I don't think it's any worse than a 5 seed, right? I mean, you look at the East right now, Okay, I don't know what the Bucks are, so they're out of the conversation, in my opinion. We don't know where Giannis is going. If Giannis leaves, sure. We could just say enter a Giannis team as a 5 seed.
If he stays in the East.
If he stays in the East, one Giannis team, the Pacers. I'm talking top 5. Pacers, Cavs, Knicks. Who am I missing?
Pistons or Orlando?
Celtics to me.
Gets better.
Yeah, Celtics to me would be fighting with those teams for a 5 seed, anywhere between a 4 and a 6. I don't think they're going to be in the play-in. You know what's so funny about this whole conversation and the Celtics dealing with no Jason Tatum? The Celtics have the 2 highest paid players based on the value of those contracts in the NBA right now. So you're damn right they should feel like we shouldn't have. Why should we were paying too many people. We get all that. But this is an opportunity for Jaylen Brown, who would be the highest paid player on any other team in the NBA right now, to show why he's being paid this contract.
And I feel like the organization entirely believes in him. I don't think that they're like, oh, Jason Tatum's out, we have to kind of chill out a little bit. I think that they had full confidence that they would beat the Knicks still. And obviously they didn't, but that says more about New York than it does about Boston, I think. I still think that they'll be fine, and I think that they know that they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think that the Jason Tatum injury is a big deal, but I don't think it's that big of a deal when you look at the situation that Boston is in.
He is 5th when it comes to annual salary. Joel Embiid is 1st at $64 million. Jason Tatum is 2nd at $62 million. Anthony Davis is 3rd at 58. Giannis is also at 58. So really he's 4th. And Dame is after him, which is crazy. Dame is after him as far as the annual salary. So yeah, if you are the Celtics, hey, let's get a 4 seed, a 5 seed. I don't know what Jason Tatum is going to be when he gets back for next season, but hey, man, based on when he did it as well, but he's going to try to come back early. I think he would essentially be ready for the playoffs, and he'll get a crazy standing ovation. Do I feel like Jason Tatum should make his return during the NBA playoffs? Not really, but Jason Tatum is one of one. He's an elite athlete. Elite athlete doesn't even do it justice for the NBA players. He is one of the 1%ers of athleticism in the world, in the universe. So, he's definitely going to try to give it a go, and we'll see what happens with the Celtics. But to the larger point, I could see them truly not having a fire sale, but they do need to move some people. Peyton Pritchard might be the guy that they have there's some guys that they might not have a choice. Drew Holiday is someone they'd probably be more willing to move, but who wants to pay Drew Holiday that money besides probably the Sacramento Kings? So,
yeah, like Al Horford, Drew Holiday, those types of people, I think that they'd be willing to get rid of.
Yeah, so that's what it is. We'll have more from the Siegel scoops from Brett Siegel. I'm going to try to get him on the show next week. All right, stop messing around. We got another one coming in, 916. A watched pot never boils. What does that mean?
I don't know.
What does that mean? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what's going on. Chris Verlade, a watched pot never boils. What does that mean? Don't worry about it. Don't pay attention to it. Right? Chris?
You got me?
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Let me get this fixed. You have me?
Yes.
I believe it means if you're waiting for something, kind of take your mind off of something, so the time will go by faster.
Yes, right. Don't worry about it. When you find out, you find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're waiting to hear back about a job, something like that. A lot of kids are getting into schools right now. Hey, when my kid is waiting to hear back from wherever, hey, watch pot never, she's checking the mail every day. Hey, watch pot never boils.
I kind of like that.
I do. I don't mind.
Yeah, now that I get it.
It's true, because I've watched the pod, and it does take a long time. All right. Stop messing around on the other side. Thank you for that, featuring Chris Verlade. When we return, our trade candidate, one more time, the hints quickly. Eastern Conference point guard. Some think he's a bit overrated. Allen loves him. His team is a complete disaster, and he's already been paid big money. That's another hint. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with turbo power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 line versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688.
The only thing better than a long weekend? A long weekend filled with great deals. And with Kohl's Memorial Day sale, you can get $10 off when you spend $25 or more. Earn $5 Kohl's cash for every $25 spent. And save on must-haves for soaking up the sun, from patio essentials to poolside picks and more. So hurry to Kohl's and kick off your summer with some savings. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end May 26th. See store or kohls.com for details.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
All you gotta do is put a drink.
Eric Church is back and bringing his unforgettable live show to Sacramento. Eric Church, Free the Machine Tour. With special guest, Charles Wesley Godwin. Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. His new album, Evangeline vs. the Machine, is out now. One epic night of music that you won't want to miss. Eric Church, Free the Machine Tour. Live at Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now. For more, visit ericchurch.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like 2 sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for that water wheel.
It's the Memorial Day Sell-a-thon now through Monday at Folsom Lake Ford. Get employee pricing plus low finance rates with approved credit now through Monday. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford. FolsomLakeFord.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sacktown Sports.
I found the holy grail of these sayings. Where I found it, it's southernliving.com. It says 70 sayings you learn from your Southern grandma. I don't know if all of them are Southern. They are claiming they are Southern, but we have bigger fish to fry.
There you go. Is that one of them? I
guess I'm realizing I have a lot of old head sayings just built in, but we have bigger fish to fry. Let me see. Is that in the article?
It's got to be in there.
It's not in there.
Oh,
it's no fish to fry.
Maybe Southern parent.
Yeah.
It's not quite as old as grandma.
What in the world? So we have bigger fish to fry right now as we get into our trade target, our trade candidate of the day. We did not get a correct guess, and the answer is somebody that I love very much and would love for him to be on the Kings. I'm in the mood now where if you're going to move or make a move for a point guard, I need star power. I personally just think you can find a point guard, even though the Kings have been unable to do it. They did. They let one go. I personally think you can find a point guard, and I would just rather go high ceiling, let's see what he can do, versus like the Cole Anthony. I'm waking up this morning feeling like Cole Anthony to me is a waste of time. Go get some wings and go get Trey Jones, and let's figure it out. That's what I would rather use the DeMar DeRozan trade or any of these trades for. And the reason I say that, with that being said, today's trade target of the day, Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers. Tyrese Maxey in 52 games. Nobody another team, the Pelicans, the Magic. Who else barely played? Played 52 games. Definitely thought he played more than that. 52 games for Tyrese Maxey. He averaged 26.3 points per game, 3.3 rebounds per game, 6.1 assists per game. From the field, 43.7%, 33.7. That was a big topic of conversation. Tyrese Maxey struggled shooting the basketball this season. 87% from 3-point line, I should say. 87.9% from the free throw line in his career, 318 games, 19.5 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, 4.4 assists per game, 46% from the field, 38.1% from three. So like I said, that's a 5% difference, 86.6% from the free throw line. Tyrese Maxey out of Kentucky. That's always a safe pick. He went 21st overall in the 2020 draft. That 2020 draft, man, a lot of talent there. Tyrese Maxey, or a lot of unique talent, I should say. Tyrese Maxey, he recently signed that 5-year, $203 million contract. He is owed $37.9 million next season. He's 24 years old now. We just got paid $35 million. Next season, he'll make $37.9 at 25. Next season after that, he'll get to the 40s, $40.7 million at 26, $43.5 at 27, $46.3 after that at age 28. He is a guy, and then he'll be a free agent when he's 29. He's a guy who I don't really know why people think that he's overrated. I think maybe they wanted to anoint him and the Sixers haven't played a ton of winning basketball. And I'm thinking, hey, so much has changed with the Sixers. Joel Embiid's never available. You bring in Paul George, he ain't available. You bring in Jared McCain, he tears his ACL. So Tyrese Maxey has had to deal with a lot as far as who is here and ready to play on the team with me, right? Like who is actually going to play. The season before, he was an all-star. He played 70 games. He averaged 25.9 points per game, all-star, and he was most improved player as well. So, you know, I'm high on Tyrese Maxey. He shot 37% from three last season on 8.1 attempts. This season, he took 9.2 attempts and only made 33%. Again, he's playing with Kelly Oubre, and I know Quentin Grimes, you know, kind of played well during the season, but this is not what he signed up for. So I'm giving him a pass on this past season because the Sixers were a complete mess. I'm high on him, Anthony. It's funny. You say you're not as high on him. I know Kyle's not that high on him as well. What is it just he's a chucker? Is he another Anthony Simons? Are there just a bunch of Anthony Simons running around? By the way, yeah, like I said, he's 24 years old. He will be 25 during next season. November 4th is his birthday.
My issue with him is usage rate on that team. I feel like his production goes way down when there's another player who can do anything near him. I think that his production is inflated quite a bit by the fact that Embiid is out all the time, and last season Paul George was out, but also he was also out last season. And then by 2029, making $46 million, it looks like a Bradley Beal thing. I know that Bradley Beal's old.
But by 2029, we got Shea making $70 million. It's gonna be different.
Yeah, but Shea's an MVP. I think that
I'm saying there will be some other. It won't look that bad, right? We had Keith Smith on, and we asked him, "Hey, some of these contracts in a couple years, based on these, you know, the cap changing TV deals, will they not look as bad?" And he said the cap isn't going to change things that much, but in 2027. There will be worse contracts out there.
Sure. I guess that's a good point. And I should look at it in terms of the fact that that's 5 years from now or 4 years.
That's what I'm saying.
So that makes sense. But I'm still just not like a couple years ago, I would have said that like Maxey and Emmanuel Quickley were like pretty equal. And I know that's ridiculous now. I know that's ridiculous now, but that's where I'm starting from. So I'm like slowly warming up to the fact that he's better. And
I like Emmanuel. I do like Emmanuel Quickley. He might pop up in a trade one of these days.
Even Kyle told me that was ridiculous, and I know that Kyle's not that high on. I told Kyle that like the first week I started here. So that's where I'm coming from. Is I'm not super high on this type of player. I think that he does get up a lot of shots. He reminds me of Bradley Beal more than Anthony Simons, which is way more upside. I think he's good. Mm-hmm. I just don't see him being like a superstar. I don't even know how much merit I'd put into the All-Star appearance that he had because that season was I'm being serious. I don't see it that way.
I think what the question is going to become here within the next couple seasons is what is the going rate for what is the going rate for championship number ones? What is the going rate for championship number twos? Or, you know, just elite number ones, elite number twos. Because if we remove the Bradley Beals because those contracts, that's like the Deshaun Watson contract, and, you know, to a lesser degree, even, well, it's not Dak, but Dak is also overpaid, and Joel Embiid as well. But Jason Tatum making 62 right now, not 2-3 years from now, right now. Jason Tatum. Anthony Davis is making 58.4. He's not a number one, I don't think. He's a hybrid.
Yeah, I don't know. It is just so weird to think about, because I don't even know where I would put Maxey on the team, like because I don't think he's a point guard. So that's another thing that I'm not super high on.
He averages 6 assists a game.
Sure, but I feel like
this is What is it about Tyrese Maxey?
I don't know. I'm just watching him play basketball, and I'm not that high on him. I think that's really it. It's just an eye test. I don't know if I can justify it by anything other than usage rate. That bothers me. I think that a lot of his stats are inflated by usage rate, which is like when you look at him going on the Kings, I guess that would make him better on the Kings because he'd be pretty close to the top option.
Let's say he's
scoring.
Let's say he's going into his third year with the Kings. He's making $43.5 million. Okay, $43.5 million. Here are the names of guys making around that right now. Right now, all right. Cade is making 44.8. No, he's not Cade. Franz is making 44.8. Evan Mobley's making 44.8. Scotty Barnes is making 44.8. Dame Lillard, that's a rough contract. Zach LaVine, 43 mil. Luka's at 43. Luka will be way past that at this point in 3 years. Trae Young is at 43 right now. And Trae Young, to me, I think that's a pretty not a good comparison in how they play, but what he could be worth, right, as far as the ceiling. So everybody's going to be making more than that. Tyrese would only be making that 43. Fred VanVleet, people know how I feel about that contract. That contract's awful. OG Anunoby making 42. Rudy Gobert making 41. LaMelo making 40. And you have and they have Tyrese because they average it out. They have Tyrese right there at 40.7. Brandon Ingram making 40, Kyrie making 40, Ja making 39.4. So it feels right to me. I mean, Desmond Bane's making 39, and he's better than Desmond Bane. And Darius Garland is, okay, here's a good one. Darius Garland, right? Who would you rather have on the Kings? Darius Garland or Tyrese Maxey?
I'd rather have Maxey.
Thank you.
I'd rather have Maxey 100%.
Okay.
I am just, it really is just eye test on like, do I like watching Maxey play basketball? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like other people.
This guy, man.
And I really just, I don't think he's one of those guys who can like elevate you as much as other people do. But if you put the contract in that context, then it's not as bad as I thought.
It's not bad. All right. How can the Kings get Tyrese Maxey? This is where things could get a little squirrely. Let's discuss on the other end. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
This is Jill Schlesinger. May is Military Appreciation Month, and I know how much I appreciate the military. I married into a military family. I hear from so many members of the military, and Navy Federal Credit Union wants us to celebrate those who go above and beyond for us every day. If you're active duty, a veteran, or part of a military family, you're eligible to join. At Navy Federal Credit Union, the members are the mission. Learn more at NavyFederal.org/celebrate. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Home is where the heart is. That's another one. 916 John in Elk Grove says, be smarter than what you're working with and get comfortable being uncomfortable. Those are two more sayings. The first one I've heard, it's work smarter, not harder. That's the version of that I've heard. 209 says, the best saying that I never truly understood until becoming an adult. It's always in the last place that you look, which of course is obvious when you think about it, because when you find something, that's literally the last place that you looked because you found it.
Beautiful.
Beautiful
saying
from the 209. We have more to get to, and we will get to them. But so in this situation, Anthony has cooked up a trade, and I have cooked up a trade. Like we said, Tyrese Maxey making basically an average of about $40 million. His contract is ascending, not descending. 35 right now, 37 next season, 40 after that, 43 after that, 46 after that. Then he's a free agent when he is 29 years old. Okay, I will go first here, and we're also going to explain why the bleep the Sixers would do this. Or at least we're going to try. I don't know that we'll be successful. But the Sixers would get DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk, and a first-round pick if they need it. I'd like it to be a swap, but a first-round pick if they need it. And let's rock and roll. You get Malik Monk, who I think was connected to Philly at one point. He's coming off the bench to give you some pop. DeMar DeRozan, we know those dudes can't stay healthy. DeMar DeRozan is an Iron Man. He can play along Paul George while Paul George is on the court. They can make a run at it in the East. Joel Embiid does come back, and they have, three Hall of Famers and three dudes that can get after it. Obviously, like you said, you could look at this and say, well, now they don't have a point guard in Tyrese Maxey, or you could say, well, Tyrese Maxey maybe isn't the purest point guard anyway. So whatever he's doing, maybe Jared McCain could do, because they do have Jared McCain waiting in the wings when he gets healthy and off of TikTok. So maybe you could be convinced if it costs you a first rounder. Me personally, I'm high enough on Tyrese Maxey, I would do it. Again, I'm only trading for point guards that I think could be superstars. And the Trae Young conversation is cool. We've seen a lot of Trae Young, and he's really expensive too. I'll go a little bit younger with Tyrese Maxey and see what could happen. So that's my deal. DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk, hopefully a first round swap. If you need a pick, if you got to twist my arm, I'll do it. And the Kings get Tyrese Maxey for the next 3-4 years. And I don't necessarily think it's a situation where Domantas Sabonis is saying, well, what are we doing? I think Tyrese Maxey will help you score. And he was an all-star last season, so he's starting his prime. Do those timelines exactly match up? Maybe not. But, okay, so we have to find a star that's also 26, 27? No. So I think the timelines are close enough, and I would do it.
Yeah, he's young and good, so that works both ways. Like, if you end up needing to blow it up, then you can still keep Maxey and keep with a timeline of you drafting players, which I find very appealing of people the players in this age range who are already established scorers and know that they can play in the NBA.
Tyrese Maxey, Zach LaVine, Domantas Sabonis, that's your big three, if you will. Zach LaVine makes his way out in 2 years, and I believe, I know you talked about Tyrese Maxey and his production. He starts to evolve a little bit. Keegan can still get enough shots. You got to make sure he does, but yeah, I think this still gives Keegan enough runway to grow. So.
I think so too, and I think that is the ideal situation. My situation is if the Sixers, in my opinion, this is bad. What I'm putting out there is not something that I want to happen.
Okay.
But this is something that I feel like the Sixers could force the Kings' hands at if the Kings really want Maxey. Like, they look at Maxey and they're like, that could be our guy later. Like, they really want to bet on him being like a high 26, 27 point per game scorer.
Okay.
So DeMar has to go with this just salary stuff like that. That's always going to get thrown into these trades. And then Keegan, so for the Sixers, I think that this would be the beginning of them really starting over, like trying to restart the process. Even though that Maxey starts the timeline, you would get a young player back, and then you would probably still have to throw in a pick. It's really bad.
How do you figure a first round pick?
Well, I don't know if first round. I said second round, but they might force it. It depends on how much the Kings want Maxey. So I'm just imagining what would happen if the Kings are like, we want this guy right now, and if they're not the greatest at negotiating in this situation, which I hope that they are, and I hope that they get a lot closer to what you are saying if they would trade for this. But this is definitely a possibility.
Now you're making me feel like mine is nowhere near enough. Now you're making me feel like it's Malik, DeMar, and 2 picks.
No, yeah, they're, in my opinion, it's 2 different situations. So if they do what your trade is, I think that fits in with their timeline of trying to win with Paul George and Embiid.
Right.
If they do what I'm trying to do, that means that later in the season they're going to offload both of them, even though they said that they are not trading Paul George.
Right.
Which, again, we talked about it earlier with Boston. They could just be posturing, like just try and get a little bit more. But also, Paul George's value is in the dirt right now. You're not getting rid of that. But you can get rid of Embiid for a lot of picks, and then you just deal with Paul George's bad contract until it's done, which it's not even that bad of a contract. It's just Paul George is Paul George, and you have to deal with the player that Paul George is. So that would put us in a really weird situation where we are really betting that Maxey is not only becoming an all-star, but like an all-star starter type of person. And that would be the trade that I think would work better if the Sixers are looking to get younger. And then they also have DeMar, who could just kind of be there, and then you can get a little bit more from him.
So if you're looking at this, you know, both of the lineups, and I like that we have 2 different paths for the Sixers. I don't think the Sixers are going to move Tyrese Maxey, but I also don't know what the hell the Sixers are attempting to do right now. So you got a lineup of, let's just say, based on the money, and we keep throwing this guy out here. So you've now lost Keegan. So it's Tyrese Maxey, Zach LaVine, Domantas Sabonis. Let's say you go out and get PJ Washington and Keon Ellis.
Yeah, Keon would still be here.
The argument is, are you just in the same spot, just with different players? I think you're better. I think you're better in both. You're definitely better with my deal, you know, because you're keeping Keegan, and so you're better with both. I don't know by how much, but in my deal, you're better, and you're going to see what happens with Keegan. In your deal, you're maybe slightly better, but if it doesn't work out, then Maxey is stuck, and I guess maybe you end up moving Maxey if Zach LaVine goes 2 years, and you get 2 years at it. Zach LaVine is done after his $800 million contract. Domantas Sabonis is, I'm out of here, and then you maybe get a bunch of value for Maxey again, because maybe by that time that contract doesn't look as bad.
Yeah.
So you're almost acquiring an asset as well, just to see, hey, maybe this could work. Maxey would be, and that's why it might cost you 1 pick. I'm not doing Malik, DeMar, and 2 picks. I'm not doing that.
Even if it's a first and a second, or
if it was a first and a second, I would do that.
Okay.
Yeah, if it was a first and a second, I would do that. But I wouldn't even do protected or any of that garbage. That's it. If you really don't want to move them, then don't move them. Your deal with Keegan, DeMar, and a second rounder, I still think in both situations you're acquiring the best asset. And if he continues on this trajectory, it's worth it to me. It's worth it to me. I don't, and maybe I'm low on Keegan, and I hope he basically slaps me in the face with his play next season. But the Kings just don't have a lot of really good assets.
Yeah, you're really betting on Keegan if you want him to stay here, and then you're kind of hoping that the Sixers are betting on Keegan if you try and trade him there for Maxey, because Maxey is a much safer bet because he's already kind of proven already an all-star.
Yeah.
So that's the difference there, is if they want to stay good right now with the same core, then they would go with your trade. And then with mine, I think that would be a worse trade for the Kings, but I think that that's what the Sixers would want if they wanted to get younger.
On the other side, somebody's going to have to do a sanity check on myself. Am I crazy Or is there a DeMar DeRozan deal that is so obvious we should have been talking about it about 2 weeks ago? Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Father's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for dads and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively the Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
San Francisco! What a laser from Brock Purdy, and what a catch.
San Francisco 49ers single game tickets are available now.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Fred gets up and runs back the other way. One block and he's in. Gonna throw left for the end zone. It's caught by George Kittle.
Secure your seats at 49ers.com/tickets.
Touchdown!
The hot weather is coming. Is your HVAC system ready for it? Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating make sure it is. Get to Lee'sAirPlumbingandHeating.com. Check out their $99 HVAC tune-up special. And let me tell you why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is the way to go. They took care of me when our heater collapsed over the winter, and Lee's set us up with a great new HVAC system that is providing comfort, value, and quality. Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating take care of you. License number 635355.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With so many ways to warm up before golf, a group of university researchers tried to cut through the clutter. 24 low handicap players were split in 2 groups. The first group was instructed to hit 9 shots in a row with 4 different clubs that set targets. The second group also hit 36 shots, but in a random order. Maybe 1 shot with a driver, 1 with a 7-iron, another with a wedge, and so on. Then all the golfers from both groups hit 9 test shots that simulated the kind of shots they'd hit on the course. Results found that the group who practiced with randomized shots performed better than the first group. Well, that's one study, but it's probably important to note that rather than hit a bunch of shots with 3 clubs, you might be better off hitting different clubs to different distances. You'll have practice shots to different targets with different clubs, presumably just like you'll do on the golf course. Give it a try. What do you have to lose except a few shots on your scorecard? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Ready for your Memorial Day barbecue? We've got you covered. 20 ribeyes for $40 is back in town. Yes, 20 ribeyes for just $40 is back. Happening now this weekend in Sacramento at Fasteners Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road and in Rockland at RC Willie Home Furnishings. Enjoy crazy half-price bulk deals on steak, chicken, pork chops, and seafood. Stock up now on prices you haven't seen since 2019. Bulk family party packs to fill your freezer plus 20 ribeyes for $40 until sold out. 20 ribeyes for $40 huge truckload meat sale is going fast. Huge bulk deals on New York strips, filet, mega ribeyes, gourmet smash burgers, plus chicken and seafood. 20 ribeye steaks for just $40 and fill your freezer bulk deals while supplies last. All payments accepted. Cash, credit, debit, and EBT. Hurry out. This huge truckload meat sale won't last long. Happening right now this weekend only at Fasteners Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road and in Rockland at RC Willie Home Furnishings. On Facebook and Instagram at Essential Foods Direct.
This very minute at the Hagen Oaks driving range, you'll find fun gaming on all 52 Top Tracer screens where golfers and newbies enjoy the fun together. Compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks driving range or play 9 holes on the McKenzie putting course. Enjoy the summer-long free concert schedule and visit the Hangout Eats and Drinks opening late May for wood-fired pizzas, burgers, ice cream, and more. Or relax with a beverage. It's happening all summer long at the Hagen Oaks driving range, nightly until midnight. Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sacktown Sports.
We are going to keep talking DeMar, and Mitch and TC, we see you. We're going to keep talking DeMar, but real quick, I just sent a text out to our guy Brett Siegel because he dropped a Siegel scoop. Might come out every Friday, and it's just some intel. We discussed that from the Celtics point of view, but I have just seen that he mentions at the very, very bottom of the article, Brett Siegel mentions a name that we've been talking about and a name that we did for our trade target, our trade candidate, I believe just last week. Here it is. Here's the quote from the article. Drew Holiday is a veteran player the Sacramento Kings have interest in, sources said. Whether or not Holiday is made available in trade talks by Boston is the ultimate question. New GM Scott Perry has made it clear his team needs a true point guard, and he always was a fan of Holiday when he worked with the New York Knicks. Perry wanted to explore the possibility of adding Holiday in New York before he was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks in 2020. Sources said Sacramento enters the offseason with decisions needing to be made about DeMar's immediate future. So I don't know if at the very end there he's saying, could the Celtics, is that a crazy situation? As this all comes back to DeMar, this whole show has been about DeMar's value. Jason Tatum's out. Kind of need a secondary scorer. I mean, I'd like to see if Derek White is worth $30 million if I'm Boston, but I don't like that deal for Sacramento personally because I don't know how much Drew Holiday has left in the tank. I think it's a little rich for my blood as far as doing that deal.
You wouldn't straight up swap Drew Holiday for DeMar?
I guess I'd have to.
I mean,
I guess I'd have to.
I'm not saying that DeMar's worse. I think that in terms of I guess Drew is a serviceable point guard on offense, and you have Levine, and I don't know how DeMar fits in Boston.
But that's what I'm saying. He's just a scorer because they're missing Tatum, and they don't know if Jaylen Brown, what he's going to be as a number one. And obviously they don't know what Derek White's going to be as I guess, number two, or I don't know if it's Porzingis or what. Everybody knows that DeMar is going to get buckets, and he'd be the only person not shooting threes on that team. So.
Yeah, that's the weird part. Is they're doing we're shooting threes until we win a game or we lose by 20.
Maybe they say, hey, why don't we at least see how this looks in a different situation? I'm just seeing how much the Kings can accept back because Drew Holiday makes $32 million. So they'd have to, I don't know, the Celtics would have to throw in something else because it just failed. The Kings can't accept that much money. So the Kings would have to get something else. Just doing it quickly. I'm looking here at Peyton Pritchard, but they ain't giving up Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, they like their guys too much.
Well, they got to give up someone.
I know.
But to me, Drew Holiday, unless they really want to get off of Drew Holiday's contract, Drew Holiday and Sam Hauser, I would do that in a heartbeat, but that feels like the Celtics would say, well, that's too much.
I don't know. Sam Hauser is probably they have so many good role players that on their team, I'd put Sam Hauser. He's not as good as Peyton Pritchard and Derek White, obviously.
So I have a deal right now just to make the money work, and obviously I did it very quickly. It would be Drew Holiday and Sam Hauser coming to the Kings for DeMar DeRozan and Isaac Jones. That works in Fanspo right now.
Okay. I
would do that.
I would do it.
I'd do that. I don't know if the Celtics do that. They do have a way of doing some positive things with former Kings. Neemias Queta.
Yeah.
Champion.
Isaac Jones randomly is going to be
champion
coming off the bench on a championship team.
So I don't know if Brett Siegel brought up DeMar for a reason, if there's any interest there. Like you said, they're 3-point chuckers. Maybe they want a curveball, literally. Maybe they want a changeup to all of the 3-pointers. And, hey, let's do it while Jason Tatum's out. See if it works. What else do we have to lose? DeMar DeRozan would get to the playoffs. right? I mean, that would be one of the most high pressure situations DeMar DeRozan would have been in a decade.
He would
going
love
to
it.
Boston.
That'd
Yeah,
be great.
I think
I'd be
he,
so happy for him if he ended up in Boston.
I don't know if you need a second, if they really like Sam Hauser, who knows? But do they like Sam Hauser enough that they would say no to getting off of Drew Holiday's contract?
I don't
That's
think
what
that
it comes
they do.
down to.
I really don't think that they do.
Is it because I think the larger point is whether it's the Kings or whoever, I don't know who is signing up to just obviously the Kings can't even take Drew Holiday, DeMar DeRozan straight up. They'd need something else. So, hey, cool. You're going to give us something because we all know Drew Holiday is slightly overpaid. That's my issue with it. I like Drew Holiday. If Drew Holiday was making $24 million like DeMar DeRozan, then there's no question. Drew Holiday's making 32.
What if they throw in a little pick? Do they even have picks left? What does Boston
Just give me Sam
even
Hauser.
have? You don't even want draft assets? I feel like
instead of you still what Sam Hauser and draft assets?
Well, you have to make the money right. So
you have to make the money.
You have to have Sam Hauser. I mean, you can get like a second rounder.
Yeah, give me a second.
Put anything in there just to have having a bad contract is such a good bargaining chip for the team that is taking on the bad contract.
Yeah, give me. Let me show you right here. And here's the issue. Because, Fanspo has the average because it's going up. Drew Holiday at 34 is making $30 million. He just made that. Next season, here you go, Anthony. Next season, 35, he makes $32.4 million. Next season at 36, he makes $34.8 million. But wait, there's more. Age 37, 27, 28 season, he'll be 37 years old. Player option for $37.2 million. That's crazy.
That is crazy. That's a really bad contract. Then they would have to throw in picks.
Give me Sam Hauser and a second, and I'll do it.
You're really high on Sam Hauser, aren't you?
I would rather take Peyton Pritchard, but they're not going to do that.
I just want more picks on top of it.
Yeah.
I feel like you could get a first for DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah. They don't want to give the first. It's, hey, there's a 37. Y'all gave him that.
Yeah.
Y'all gave him a $37 million option. So I'm going to need a pick swap or something.
DeMar DeRozan is a Hall of Famer.
I'm leaving here with something. And you got Hot Honey Jones.
Yeah.
We leaving here with something. Following up on Brett Siegel and his report and his Siegel scoop about the interest between Drew Holiday and the Sacramento Kings. Continuing that conversation. And there's another spot DeMar DeRozan might fit in that might not be that obvious. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here reminding you to gear up for Memorial Day and summer barbecue parties at Amy's Outdoor Living, your grilling headquarters. Now, while others have raised prices, Amy's is keeping their low prices through May 26th. Weber, Traeger, Rectech, Blackstone. New Traeger Woodridge, $200 off at $6.99. The popular Weber Genesis starts at $7.99. $7.99. Rectech pellet grills, my brother's favorite, lowest price of the year. And Gosney pizza ovens, I've had mine for a year. I love it. Starts at $3.99 plus no sales tax on in-stock patio furniture through May 26th. You need umbrellas or cushions? Amy's has a great supply in many colors. Memorial Day is the perfect time to get that new barbecue grill you want. Amy's Outdoor Living in 2 locations. In Sacramento on El Camino near Watt and in the El Dorado Town Center.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Father's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for dads and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body?
Huh?
That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
When you think of hot, you might think about the tragic time you ate too much wasabi. Or about getting into your car on a summer day when it feels more like stepping into a sauna. But heat can work in your favor, like during Verizon Red Hot Deal Days. Get hundreds of hot deals on all your favorites, like iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence, Apple Watch Series 10, and iPad, on any plan. Only until May 28th for new and existing customers. Offer available on My Plan. Only at Verizon.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like two sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for that water wheel.
It's the Memorial Day Sell-a-thon now through Monday at Folsom Lake Ford. Get employee pricing plus low finance rates with approved credit now through Monday. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Just going through a couple other notes from the article. Here's a quote. It is also worth noting that Golden State has been labeled as a team that would have serious interest in Derek White. That fits. That fits very well. Now, I'm not sure how they get that done. I don't know what the Celtics would want with Jonathan Kuminga. But it's just a young wing. I mean, give us a young wing. He's not going to get the runway there either.
We all want Derek White.
That's right.
Like that's my
Derek
opinion. White. Like it's like trying to trade.
No. But they have serious interest.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know who else? This is all coming out now because the article is about the Celtics and just the pieces from the Celtics. The Golden State Warriors have long been viewed as a potential destination for Kristaps Porzingis.
I could see that.
Hey, just be ready for the playoffs. That's it.
Yeah.
What a great life if you're Kristaps Porzingis. I'm just going to play 20 games a season and be in high-level situations. I only play for playoff teams because other teams can't take a chance on me because I never play.
It didn't go very well in Dallas when he was there.
No, it did not.
So it is the situation that he seems to need to be in.
He's like the equivalent of a relief pitcher in baseball. He plays about the same amount as a relief pitcher in baseball. Maybe less than some. Maybe less. He's almost like a closer. I just get to hop in. It's almost playoff time. Okay, cool. And I might not be available for playoffs. This season, he was sick.
Have you seen his points per game compared to how long the ball is in his hand?
No.
This is a nerd stat, but it's actually insane. Like, he has the ball in his hand like for less than 30 seconds a game and scores like 15 points a game.
He's just there. He shoots. He dips out. That's pretty much it. And we have more that we'll get into. If you're just now joining us, you have Brett Siegel reporting per source that Jrue Holiday, there's interest from the Sacramento Kings for Jrue Holiday. They don't know if Jrue Holiday is available, but the Celtics are going to make moves. It's just a matter of who they are deeming touchable and who they're deeming guys that they would listen to offers on. And they're going to listen to offers on everybody. It's just, where can we get the best deals? 916-339-1140. Got some texts to get through as well and some callers that have been waiting. Let's go to Mitch, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Mitch? What you got for us?
How's it going, Allen Stiles?
How you doing?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, man. You too.
Yeah. I don't see any way that Maxey is dealt by the Sixers.
Yeah.
Two guys say they would love to have dealt. We don't want them. McCain, we paid for McCain, so it's not going to that again. I like to have the problem that Poland and Orlando had with those too many guards over the draft in the first one, but they seem to hit. I wish we can hit. When with the few that we do hit, we trade away. And one more thing. It just escapes my mind. I'm sorry. How about we also look into the Thunder and Nets? They have between those two teams. They have 7 first-round picks. They're not able to keep all of them, especially the Thunder. We have to get young bodies. I don't want Jrue Holiday. He's over 30. He's a bowling Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Mitch. Yeah, I don't know how good toe pitch is going to be, but it is going to get to a point where the Thunder just have too many assets, and I think they legally have to use some in some way, or they I guess Kyle said they can just keep pushing them or kicking them down the can.
Yeah, there's a whole lot.
There's another one.
Yeah, kicking them down the can.
There's another one. I can't. And I said one last segment too. 916-339-1140. If you're just now joining us, we are going over. I don't know how we got here, but we're just talking about old sayings. I think we started talking about basketball, and now it has evolved into outside of basketball. I have a whole list. Don't count your chickens before they've hatched. That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Here's one, and this is on the list. Don't be ugly.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've heard that one.
Have you?
And no.
Okay.
I
mean, I've heard it.
I've heard that. Yeah, I didn't know it was a saying. I thought people are just being mean.
Here's one. Well, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. I say that all the time. But this is a different variation. Too many cooks spoil the gravy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We're getting Southern here. Some of these are
Yeah,
Southern.
I think that might be specific.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Mm-hmm. That's right. You reap what you sow. It doesn't cut the mustard. There are a lot.
It doesn't cut the mustard?
You never heard that one?
I have not heard that one.
You never heard that one?
No, I don't know what that even means.
I believe it means mustard seeds are really small. Well, what it means is it's not getting it done. Like if you said, yeah, DeMar DeRozan for Jrue Holiday and that's it.
Oh, that doesn't move the needle.
Yes, that doesn't
that kind of thing.
Cut the mustard.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're preaching to the choir.
I like that.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
916-339-1140. Let's get to TC. Wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, TC? What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, I kind of got quite a few things, man.
Okay.
So first and foremost, right, so DeRozan, so I think we're kind of overvaluing this dude, right? So we're not – the trade package with him is not going to be 3 players, 3 first-round picks, 2 pick swaps. It's not – he's not that type of dude, bro. Like the whole Hall of Fame status, he's just a Hall of Fame dude. Where he's not – his Hall of Fame status isn't going to get approved on the draft capital. So that's more than enough. Jrue Holiday, bro, that's a no-brainer. For DeRozan or even Jrue Holiday and Sam Hauser, Allen, how aren't you doing that deal? I don't like that's a bona fide point guard, 2-way starter. Him and Keon in a starting lineup. Even I want to go back to that trade yesterday. I couldn't get in, but that was more than enough. Dylan Brooks and Cam Whitmore for DeRozan, bro. That's the deal that we're looking at to bring some wing players in, a veteran point guard, or you could even go Lakers. Give us Rui and Gabe Vincent, something like that, bro. A deal for DeRozan, bro. That's the deal we're looking at to get some pieces in here. I like the Drew Holiday. That's a no-brainer, bro.
I said I'd do it, TC. I'd say I'd do it.
Yeah, no, Allen, I couldn't tell. When he was asking you earlier, you were like, I don't know. Drew Holiday for DeRozan, bro?
Is that your Allen impression? That's not too bad. That's not a bad Allen impression.
Man. That's all I got, man. Let's use our brains, y'all.
All right. Thanks for the call, TC. I don't know where to go. Yeah, we're overvaluing DeMar DeRozan. We're undervaluing him. I really don't know. It's one of the more I woke up this morning feeling like I wanted to start overvaluing him, giving him more value, because I do feel like he has been undervalued. And now TC say we're overvaluing him. So look, Drew Holiday, Sam Hauser for DeMar DeRozan, I would do it. I would do it.
In a heartbeat.
I would do it. Now, if that, again, the issue I have with Drew Holiday is his age and how much he's being paid. By the way, just to double check here, you want to take a guess on how old Sam Hauser is?
28.
27.
All right.
27. I like that. I like that. Spread the floor. And the reason the Celtics are doing it is because they want to get fine. We like Sam Hauser, but we would like to get off of Drew Holiday's contract even more. That's what we would like to do.
And they can afford to tighten their rotation.
Yeah.
They have a lot of good players on their team.
He played 71 games. Sam Hauser did 8.5 points per game, 41.6% from three. He shot 100% from the free throw line. Now the question is, how many did he take? How many did he take? I got to find the totals. But he's
over under like 20.
His average is 0.2 free throw attempts.
Oh, wow.
Per game.
Oh.
We got to find totals. And now
so what's the math there?
Here
it's
you go.
Around 20, right?
Here's your total. Oh my goodness. He's at 100%. You get one guess at this.
Okay,
give me a number.
How many games did he play this season?
He played in 71 games.
71. Okay. 30.
11 free throws, and he did not miss one.
Good for him. 11 for 11, so impressive.
He did not miss one, okay?
Not in the NBA, but
more importantly, as far as the minutes are concerned, 21 minutes per game. That's not nothing. He played 71 games, started in 19. Like I said, 21.7 minutes per game. That's a real rotation piece. And he took 5.6 threes per game, shot it at 41.6%. Give me Sam. Why am I more excited for Sam Hauser than Drew Holiday in this deal?
Because that's more fun.
Yeah, it is more fun.
Drew Holiday has the asterisk. That's his contract next to him.
That's right. Do the deal, Sacramento. Do the deal. Do I love it? Not as much as Tyrese, but do the deal. When we return, continuing to talk about DeMar DeRozan as we hit the 12 o'clock hour, is there an obvious deal that we're missing over? And continue to send in your old people sayings from your parents. I want to see one that's not on this list. Allen Stiles, Sacramento Sports.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Bob Bolger went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The clock is ticking, Ethan.
Hey, movie fans, get ready for the ultimate summer blockbuster at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
I need you to trust me.
Filmed for IMAX, every mission has led to this. Feel every heart-pounding moment on Esquire IMAX's 6-story screen with thunderous audio. Grab your reserved seats now at IMAX.com/Sacramento. The Esquire IMAX Theater, the world's most immersive movie experience for Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are 2 new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
San Francisco!
What a laser from Brock Purdy, and what a catch.
San Francisco 49ers single-game tickets are available now.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Fred gets up and runs back the other way. 1 block, and he's in. Gonna throw left for the end zone. It's caught by George Kittle.
Secure your seats at 49ers.com/tickets.
Touchdown!
Memorial Day savings explode at Nada's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,500 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado Turbo Max in stock. And Nada Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections of new Silverado in the Sacramento area. $12,500 off new Silverado. Exclusively at the Nada Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at NadaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Less than 21 removed. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
Hey, I'm Allen Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD 1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sacktown Sports.
We're about to do a sanity check on myself when I say what I'm going to say. Real quick, and I've been teasing this for a while because between the old people sayings that keep coming up, and I want them to keep coming through the whole time. I have more to read. Somebody called in and told Anthony 3, so we are going to hear from those as well. But the more I read into this article from Brett Siegel, and it is confirmed he will be on the show next week. We will have more details for you when we get closer to that day to break all this down. Listen to how he ends this one. DeMar DeRozan is once again viewed by other teams as a potential target for Riley and the Heat. He is talking about DeMar DeRozan and his connection to the Miami Heat. Again, I think and I'm not going to take credit for this because this was Chris Biederman, who, if you haven't heard our interview with Chris Biederman, it's up on YouTube right now. It's on the Sacktown Sports app. Go check it out because Chris Biederman always brings the fire. Chris Biederman got me on this train of only one team's going to get Kevin Durant. And DeMar DeRozan isn't Kevin Durant. Nobody's saying that. But if you miss out on KD, it's 1 year. He's 36, 37. It's 50 whatever $million. And you get a DeMar DeRozan who, if you just need a bucket getter for $24 million at a high level, you could talk yourself into it. Now, I don't know how much better the Heat are specifically with DeMar DeRozan, but if you want to hand over Jaime Jaquez and Jovic, you can go ahead and find out.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also not the worst haul that some team that missed out on Kevin Durant got in an offseason if they really wanted Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks got Julius Randle instead of Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
Right.
So that's sometimes you just got to settle. And I like Julius Randle. That's not a knock on him, but he's definitely worse than DeMar DeRozan, in my opinion.
And it all started with Chris Biederman bringing up the Rockets, saying, hey, if the Rockets lose the Kevin Durant sweepstakes, or, they've already said they want to see what Jalen Green can do instead of going after a Devin Booker, then, hey, let's go get DeMar for a couple years. He can have a couple moments. He's our closer. Let's rock and roll from there. So that is Chris Biederman started, and Kyle's probably saying I've been telling you this for weeks, but Chris Biederman really put me on the train of maybe I am personally undervaluing DeMar DeRozan, and I don't want to sway too far where it turns into overvaluing DeMar DeRozan, but here we are. Like I said, we're going to get to some of these sayings in a second here, but I want to stop teasing my sanity check. I'm sitting there yesterday doing a stream, show's over, I'm at home doing a stream, and all of a sudden it dawned on me. You have DeMar DeRozan making $24 million. Jonathan Kuminga is going to make around that, maybe a little less. And I know there is a texter on here. I do not remember even, I'm just going to guess 916. I do not remember who said it months ago. And they said, Allen, what about DeMar DeRozan to the Warriors? The initial thought is that this is crazy. I know. And I ran it by the round table. They kind of said, don't do it on the air, but I don't care. Because if you just remove yourself from the situation just for a hot second, okay, just remove yourself, and you think you need a bucket getter. You've already kind of changed how you play, adding Jimmy Butler. You have the defense with Draymond and Jimmy to make up for DeMar DeRozan. And when Steph or Jimmy need a breather, who do you go to? And I'm looking here at the fact that Jonathan Kuminga, like I've already said, I don't know that Domantas Sabonis would think that Jonathan Kuminga, 22-year-old's timeline would match up with his, but that's a different conversation for a different day. As far as acquiring talent, the Kings, obviously they do it. But again, DeMar DeRozan is probably the best plan B, plan C out there. All these teams that are interested in Giannis, all these teams that are interested in KD, they're only going to go to one place each, right? So if the Warriors, if Giannis says, I don't want to mess with the West, and KD says, I do not want to hang out with Draymond Green, and they're looking around again saying, we need a bucket getter. I went back and forth with Brendan Nunez about this. As far as Cam Johnson, you put Cam Johnson on this team instead of Jonathan Kuminga. Do they win the series? Do they get to game 6? I don't know. But you put, just from a scoring perspective, Cam Johnson is not going to give you 30 in a game. DeMar DeRozan, he's going to defend you better and stretch the floor better. Don't get me wrong. DeMar DeRozan on this Warriors team, who found a way to make Buddy Hield look like a competent basketball player outside of shooting. They've done it so many different times. If I'm going to trust any team to figure out a questionable fit with with what? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4 Hall of Famers. It's the Golden State Warriors. Not to mention, if I'm DeMar DeRozan, their money to them doesn't matter. If I'm DeMar DeRozan, I'm not trying to come off the bench for no Sacramento Kings or for no Atlanta Hawks or anything like that. But I'll come off the bench for the Warriors, so I don't even know how much Jimmy and DeMar DeRozan would actually play. So that just dawned on me yesterday. Obviously, everybody's going after the big fish. But if they don't get the big fish, I know they want a point guard, the Warriors do. They could go get Trey Jones and Schroeder. They could try Schroeder again, even though that didn't work out. They could go get one of those dudes. Go get Tyus. Go get DeMar and Brook Lopez on a minimum deal, a vet minimum deal. Anthony, am I completely insane?
I mean, I thought that Jimmy on the Warriors was insane.
So did I.
So you can say insane things and the Warriors might figure it out. Like, that's my whole opinion on it. So DeMar on that team does not make any sense to me. And he's might be
come
right.
off the bench.
If he comes off the bench, I guess that makes a little bit more sense, but I don't know. Like you said, he might have a change of heart. Like, he's playing with Jimmy Butler, playing to win, like a much more coherent, like storied franchise.
That's
I
what
guess.
I'm saying, man.
So if they can convince him to do that, then that's more power to them. But I don't know how that works. But I didn't know how Jimmy Butler was going to work, and Jimmy Butler just worked. I mean, they didn't go as far as they hoped, but they weren't good at the beginning of the season. I think a lot of people forget that the Warriors were not good.
No, they weren't.
Like, I didn't think that they were going to be better than the Kings, and I think that we thought that here, but they ended up being any team with Steph Curry is good, but it's like, whatever.
They weren't beating the Thunder this season. They weren't.
No, they weren't.
They're not beating the Thunder playing every other game with those guys. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know that Cam Johnson fixes that. Cam Johnson and Brook Lopez, does that fix it for the Warriors? I don't know. I don't know that DeMar DeRozan does, but I know that DeMar DeRozan will make you pull doubles at some point, will just give you consistent scoring. So maybe it's crazy. I think the Warriors, again, if anybody can do it, it's the Warriors, and they have nothing to lose, really. Like, okay, you're going to go get a 28-year-old Cam Johnson and Brook Lopez. I don't see that. I don't see that winning, though. I don't see that winning the whole thing.
I don't either, but I think that the way the Warriors operate, and they have since they won that last championship, is we have Steph Curry for a finite amount of time, and you just keep throwing stuff at the wall until it sticks.
But that's what I'm saying. When you look at Kuminga and what he is, if they're going to do the sign and trade, maybe they keeping Kuminga. You might as well go get DeMar DeRozan. You know, DeMar DeRozan works better than Kuminga to me, and we can make that argument. He's younger, so you're keeping him more so for the future. But where Warriors fans and where the Warriors would laugh you out the building is because, even if the money works based on and where Kyle would probably walk out of the building right now, is just because of the value of Jonathan Kuminga. So then it turns into, if you're the Kings, how much do you want Kuminga? What's more valuable to you? Some of the stuff we just said, what's a better deal, right? Jonathan Kuminga, you give up DeMar DeRozan and a first for Jonathan Kuminga?
No.
And a swap? They're
think
not doing DeMar straight up, the Warriors. They're not doing that.
They might. Like, that's the whole thing, is I don't think that they care about money. I don't think they care about being young at all. I think that they just are in this situation where they're like, we can't even trade people because of how bad of a money situation that they're in. And the rules were basically made to screw them over.
Right.
And they're just
CJ
in
McCollum.
this. Yeah. CJ McCollum. It's just that little grudge that he had. I think that they just they know that Steph Curry, any team, like Jimmy Butler said, any team with Steph Curry can win at any moment. So they just keep throwing things at them. They don't care about age. They don't care about money. If they think something different will work, then might as well do it. So I don't know how I think the Warriors have an entirely different view of value across the entire league. They gave Jimmy Butler $50 million.
Which is insane.
And it doesn't make any sense for any other team to do that. And it did not make sense for the Warriors to do that. But for some reason, it worked.
I'm not, look, it depends on what Kuminga's value is. I'm just saying they add Jimmy Butler. So it's not Steph and a bunch of role players, but Jimmy Butler is not going to be able to be a second. You're paying over $50 million a season to a second option that will not be a second option for you for 82 games. That's my problem right now. And they're going to, like I said, this is if the big fish hunting doesn't work out. If the big fish hunting doesn't work out, then you have to look at other options. And I think there are, there's worse options out there. There's worse options out there to believe that they could figure something out. And then obviously on the Kings side, the Kings get younger and more athletic and more length. When we return, those old sayings are coming back up. We also discuss why the Kings should not trade for a point guard. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. It's finally Friday, heading into a holiday weekend. For today, you can expect mostly sunny skies, temperatures down slightly, highs in the low 80s. That's near normal for this time of year. Expect to have light winds and mostly sunny skies. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's about time they
fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
What's going on? I'm talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Chad, tell me what's happening for Chrysler's Employee Pricing Plus event.
There's been a lot of talk lately about electric vehicles, and this has to be one of my favorites. And right now, don't just get the employee pricing, get Employee Pricing Plus with a little extra Hoblet discount. When you save up to $10,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 4xEs. These Jeeps are so much fun to drive and save you a bundle at the pump.
They save money. They look pretty nice, too.
Those Jeeps have been hugely popular, and everyone I've talked to loves them. Plus, you get to experience our award-winning customer service. And remember to check out the new Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000. Whatever you're looking for, Hoblet has it.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
10,000 total net savings after 2,500 factory rebates and 7,500 dealer discounts, including employee pricing for all. Rebates may include 500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. VIN number 24461 and 24463. See dealer for details.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Mind your P's and Q's. That's right. From the 530. 916, don't cry over spilt milk. It's a good one. That's a classic. That is a classic. Hey, it already happened. Move on. 916, you lend a hand and they pull a foot.
I don't know that one. I guess they don't help you back.
Yeah, or you give them an inch, they take a mile. Is that a different version of that?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. There's one from the 530 from Greg. Greg, I see you. I can't say it fully. It's a variation of you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. The second part of that is something about a horse and a fish.
Okay.
That I can't say on the air.
All right.
But thank you, Greg. Thank you, Greg.
Like
Never heard that one, Greg.
That is an old one. I like that.
Yeah.
If I'm imagining what it is, right?
Yeah, I never heard that one, Greg, but we appreciate you.
Yeah, I have a couple.
Okay, yes, the call.
Yeah, from Bill. These ones are wild.
All right.
Someone is big enough to go bear hunting with a switch.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Just like calling someone big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you see, I might use that here. We get a big guy to talk about Valanciunas like that.
That's right. I like that.
Yeah, I like that one too.
And what was this caller's name?
It was Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
All
Bill
right. What else, Bill?
These. He said that's a separator. It separates a fool from his money. So like a bad deal is a separator. Okay. Calling it a separator. I like that one.
Uh-huh.
Use that with some of these trade deals. Then we have, I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. I like that one as well. So like 30 Sundays.
All right.
Like using a month as a measurement.
Okay.
I like that.
That's some arithmetic.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Now we just say, I haven't seen you in a minute.
Mm-hmm. He said that comes from his 90-year-old mother who is from the South. All three of those.
I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. I like that. Uh-huh. Let's see. 916, a hard head makes for a soft butt.
I don't get it. Just straight up, I don't get
it. I couldn't care less. Yeah.
I know that one.
Is that a yeah, it is a saying. It is a saying, right? Here, I'm back to the old school ones, and then we're going to talk about these point guards. A rising tide lifts all boats. Yes, that's a classic. You'll catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. How could we forget? The early bird catches the worm.
Yep.
You make your bed, you got to lay in it. These are classics, man. These are bars, by the way.
There's a reason they were passed down through generations.
That's why this is what we need to be calling them. These are OG bars. That's where we're at. Hurry up, we're burning daylight. Isn't that just true?
Yeah. I mean, burning.
Mm-hmm. Strike while the iron's hot. These are bars, man. These are straight up bars. All right. And Ramsey says, and Ramsey does a great job for us here at the station, text me confirming the hard head, soft butt comment. That he said his dad says that all the time. But Ramsey, what does it mean?
Yeah, I need to know what it means.
Does that mean, you know what? Does that mean you're getting spanked? Right? Hey, you're not listening to me, so I'm going to spank your butt.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. That would make sense. Yeah.
And they're not saying butt, by the way. I just don't know if I can say it in that. You can say it, but I don't know if I can say it like that.
Neither do I. So let's
just not. It's Friday. Let's not get in trouble on a Friday. But are you getting spanked or what? That's what we're trying to figure out. All right. We talked about this a little bit early in the show and want to approach it from a different perspective. And Ramsey confirms, it means if you don't listen, you're going to get spanked. We talked about this from a different perspective, and it's not that I don't want to trade for a point guard, as the trade candidate today was Tyrese Maxey. I just don't think I want to overblow the situation as far as Kings need a point guard. Go get someone. I'm rethinking, and to Anthony's point, unless there's good value, I'm rethinking all of it, and I'm just not sure that we need to go get a Cole Anthony, again, unless it's good value, right? I think you can find something point guard adjacent as far as free agents are concerned. So just for example, I have free agents in 2025 and free agents in 2026, okay? So as far, these are unrestricted. I'm not going to get in. There's restricted free agents as well, of course. And by the way, Markelle Fultz, restricted free agent. So just wanted to let you know that one. So Bones Highland, okay, unrestricted. Jalen Hood-Schifino, unrestricted. Ben Simmons. You have Monte Morris, Tyus Jones. Listen right here. What about Campaign? unrestricted free agent, non-bird rights. Obviously, he's coming off the bench for the Knicks. This is what I'm not saying that these dudes are dudes. I'm just saying when you're looking at the trade market and the difference in talent between the non-star point guards, maybe you can just lowball something. I don't know, man. Spencer Dinwiddie.
I feel like Dinwiddie still wants money. I feel like Dinwiddie's probably more expensive than the rest.
Now, Kyle Lowry is 31. You know that?
Kyle Lowry's 31?
Excuse me, 39.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, that's
39.1.
They have
the points
on his.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, Kyle Lowry's old. Knew that.
Dante Exum, I don't even know if he plays point guard. I don't even know if he played point guard for the Mavs. He made that huge three.
Yeah, I don't think that he played like the point guard role.
Trey Jones, we've talked about D'Angelo Russell, Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon is making $22 million, of course, and that's where it ends for the unrestricted, so that's where we'll just stop it for now. But those are just decent names, man. Decent names. Let me go to 2026. These are unrestricted, and there's early bird and bird, but just hang with me here. So 2026, you got to go to guys actually getting paid money. You get down to, I wouldn't say Javon Carter. I'm not going there, but Mike Conley, who is 38.6 years old. Gabe Vincent, who is 29.9. So obviously these guys will be a year older. Kobe White, depending on what happens with him, he'll be a free agent. That might be out of the Kings price tag. Colin Sexton will be a free agent. Kobe White's 26. Colin Sexton 27. Why did I think that Colin Sexton was way older than Kobe White? But only 1 year older. Marcus Smart will be a free agent. Terry Rozier, who forgot how to play basketball, he'll be a free agent. Then you get the De'Aarons and the Kyries, and that gets a little sticky there, with player options and extensions. And then you get Fred VanVleet, who we don't know what's going to happen with Houston. There's some names there, right? And some of them are trade targets now that you would either try to extend or just go ahead and let them fly, right? You re-sign them or you just let them fly. I guess if it doesn't work out, Kobe White, any of the Kobe Whites, Colin Sextons, even Marcus Smart, I think you're hoping that you don't get here, right? If you're trading for them. But I just think that the free agent market, I don't know, man. And maybe this is how the Kings ended up in this situation by undervaluing pure point guards. But I don't know. I feel like I don't want to lose too much in the trade market getting some, I don't know how much better Cole Anthony is than half of the guys I just said, is my larger point.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you can get good value in the free agent market at just as good value as you could get while you're trading. It just depends on what you definitely can't get Cole Anthony for cheaper than you can get someone like Cameron Payne.
Right.
And then you have to compare production and play style as well. Like, do you want a point guard who is going to pass the ball, like pass first point guard, true point guard is what people like to say, but Campaign's not that. I think someone like Trey Jones is probably more like that if you want that. So it really, there's options in the trade market and in free agency, and I think it is important to look at that.
This one hits home. Who's in a worse situation? The Sacramento Kings or the Las Vegas Raiders? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Memorial Day doorbuster deals are here at Lowe's. Right now, Rewards members save $80 on the Master Forge 4-burner gas grill, now just $149. Plus, Rewards members save $900 on the Lowe's exclusive Hisense French door refrigerator, now only $999. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
The only thing better than a long weekend? A long weekend filled with great deals. And with Kohl's Memorial Day sale, you can get $10 off when you spend $25 or more. Earn $5 Kohl's cash for every $25 spent. And save on must-haves for soaking up the sun, from patio essentials to poolside picks and more. So hurry to Kohl's and kick off your summer with some savings. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Offers end May 26th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metal woods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, you know, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now? It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Ready for your Memorial Day barbecue? We've got you covered. 20 ribeyes for $40 is back in town. Yes, 20 ribeyes for just $40 is back. Happening now this weekend in Sacramento at Fasteners Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road and in Rockland at RC Willie Home Furnishings. Enjoy crazy half-price bulk deals on steak, chicken, pork chops, and seafood. Stock up now on prices you haven't seen since 2019. Bulk family party packs to fill your freezer, plus 20 ribeyes for $40 until sold out. 20 ribeyes for $40. Huge truckload meat sale is going fast. Huge bulk deals on New York strips, filet, mega ribeyes, gourmet smash burgers, plus chicken and seafood. 20 ribeye steaks for just $40 and fill your freezer. Bulk deals while supplies last. All payments accepted. Cash, credit, debit, and EBT. Hurry out. This huge truckload meat sale won't last long. Happening right now this weekend only at Fasteners Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road and in Rockland at RC Willie Home Furnishings. On Facebook and Instagram at Essential Foods Direct.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
There are Kings-Niners fans out there. There are Kings-Raiders fans out there. There are Kings fans that are fans of other NFL teams. Chris Watkins likes to keep it purple. He's a fan of the Vikings. This one is for the black and silver. And I was thinking about this, and Anthony, you got your Niners shirt on, and I appreciate that. I was thinking about this last night and trying to figure out who is in a worse spot. And it's really tough just because of not only their situations as far as the roster is concerned, but also their conference and division, right? If the Kings were on the East Coast and we're an Eastern Conference team and the Raiders were in the AFC South, I think fans like me, we'd be in a completely different mental space. But location. And I struggle because, it could be the Kings based on battling. Okay, there's 6 spots and you've been trying to get back into the top 6 for 2 years now. And before that, you tried for about 17 years. And you have the Raiders who are in that AFC West where, hey, at least, for so much time, they messed around while they had Derek Carr, who recently retired, and you had essentially automatic wins besides the Peyton Manning time, but you had, a chance against half of the division, right? And you just had to worry about the Chiefs. You knew you had a chance against the Chargers, who stunk, and you knew you had a chance against the Broncos, who were trying out a QB for years. So it was just, you can't beat yourself, even though some people would say, the Raiders lost their bye week, but you can't beat yourself. And obviously you have Kansas City Chiefs doing their thing. But you look at that division now, and I think the Bo Nix hype might be a little bit bigger than it should be. And you have Justin Herbert now with Jim Harbaugh. Kind of weird to think about the fact that the Raiders tricked off a time where the division, or at least the wild card, was more attainable than it is now. It didn't feel like that in the moment. It felt like the AFC West and the AFC in general was tough, and it is tougher than the NFC, I would say. Felt like it was tough that whole time with Derek Carr and when they messed around with Jimmy Garoppolo. I feel like that might have been where they really messed up. The end of Derek Carr, beginning of Jimmy Garoppolo, that was when it was the Broncos still hadn't figured it out. The Chargers were getting there. That was when, and I'm just talking division. Obviously, you're battling against other AFC teams for the wild card because you're not beating the Chiefs. That was when they maybe could have, the AFC was still trying to find their way. And now 2 more teams have entered the chat. And I don't know, man. I feel like the Raiders might be in a worse spot, even though they have Max Crosby. I like Ashton Genty. They made him stop doing his kind of creepy, let me stand in the backfield. They're making him look like an athlete now, so that's all fine. And I'm excited about him. I'm excited about Brock Bowers. I can continue to joke about Geno Smith in a dome with Chip Kelly, and you bring in Pete, and that's all fine and good, but we went over that schedule, and this kind of is a nod to me feeling like the AFC South might be a little bit better than what people think. I don't see how they're getting into the playoffs. I don't see that. At least are the Kings in a better situation than the Raiders because the NBA has a play-in? Is that the difference?
It really might be the difference.
Because if it was only the top 8 teams get in, and not that 9-10, and I know the Heat were the first team to get in, and they just got their butts whooped by the Cavs anyway, it was the Cavs, whoever it was. So it makes you feel better, but I really don't know who's in a better or worse spot. If you're making me choose, I guess the Kings are in a slightly better spot because in the NFL, you need the quarterback. And I guess the Raiders are thinking Geno might do and Geno was good. He already kind of had his Baker time, so I don't know if he's going to do it again. They wrote me off. I didn't write back, though. I got to say the Raiders are in a worse spot than the Kings, and I feel like that's a crazy statement. But if I say the Kings are in a better spot than the Raiders, that both statements feel crazy.
I think that the Kings are in a better spot than the Raiders right now. I think that this offseason will say a lot about what spot the Kings are actually in. Looking at what the Raiders are doing, I think that they aren't good enough to make the playoffs right now. So I just, right off that, and I think it is because of the play-in, right off that, I don't think that they are in a better spot because I think that the Kings still have a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
next season. All
the Kings have to do, if you're an 8, and I know they were 9, but it wasn't that close. You're an 8 seed. You get 2 cracks at it, right? I'm looking here, and again, it was 7.5 was the win total, and we have Matthew on the Sack Chat saying he thinks that the Raiders are in a great position going into the season. And we can do it again. And I said, 8? I said they'd get the over. I don't know. People are really high on the Patriots and their quarterback situation there. Then you host the Chargers. Then you go to Washington. Washington used to be a W. I feel like people are looking at this schedule as if it's 3-4 years ago, and it's not. You got to go to New England. That's tough. You host the Chargers. That's tough. You got to go to Washington. You host the Bears. I don't know what the Bears are. That's almost a must win, a blind must win. And if the Bears are anything like what people think they'll be, that ain't a must win. The Colts, I have no clue. So those are your two. You got to get one of those. You host the Titans. I think that Cam Ward is going to be able to do some things. The Raiders have to win that game, though. So now at this point, unless you beat the Bears and the Colts, you're, 2-4? So you're 2-4 at this point. After that, you go to Chiefs. Then you host the Jaguars. Okay, I'll give you 3-5. You go to Denver. You're going to get one against Denver. So now you're 4-5. You go to the Cowboys. They could beat the Cowboys. I don't know, though. They're going to Vegas. What is that? Fine. I'll play the game. 5-5. The Browns, I guess you're 6-5 now. And after that, you go to Chargers. I know it'll be a home game, but now you're 6-6. You host the Broncos. I think that I gave them the W last time. So now you're 6-7. You go to Eagles. You're 6-8. You go to Texans, you're 6-9. You host the Giants, you're 7-9. And then you host the Chiefs again. Yeah, that's how. Well, now I have them at 7-10. So there's one win. Basically, the whole difference to me of this season is that stretch right there at the beginning, Bears Colts. Because you start out, and I guess you could throw Patriots in there because I'm not going to sit there and say the Patriots are world beaters. But do you get 2 in the first 5 weeks? It's that simple. If you're going to get to 8 wins, do you get 2 within the first 5 weeks? Patriots, Bears, Colts. Do you get 2? Maybe you get 3.
I think that there's 2 different ways of looking at like who's in a better situation. Like we just had a caller who called in to say it's kind of comparing apples to oranges just because of the fact that the Raiders are in a position to get better later. Mm-hmm. Like they are clearly doing something, a little bit of a rebuild kind of thing going on. And the Kings haven't made that decision.
Right. They have more of a direction.
So that's why I went the Kings could make the playoffs if they make a move to win now, which I still don't think that they would be able to compete for a championship. But that's why I said that the Raiders are in a worse situation. But according to other people who want to see like more direction, the Raiders are in way better of a situation. Mm-hmm. So there's 2 different ways of looking at it.
Yeah, it is apples to oranges. I hear you on that one, but it doesn't stop us from at least attempting. I guess that was supposed to make me feel better, and I don't know that it actually did. When we return, Brock Purdy haters aren't feeling better as Brock is still talking that mess. He says he's a top 10 quarterback, and he addresses the system quarterback thing. Does he have a little too much dip on his chip? Is that another one? Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Water. It's more than just a word. It's morning routines, backyard memories, and everything in between. At Roseville Environmental Utilities, we're not just managing water, we're protecting it. Smart planning, conservation, innovation. We make every drop count for today and tomorrow. Let's keep the promise together. Find out how you can help at roseville.ca.us/water promise. Roseville Environmental Utilities. Water, it's not just a word, it's our promise.
California, it's the Ford Memorial Day Sell-a-thon. For a limited time, get the biggest savings on an incredible selection. So visit your California Ford dealer now and get great offers across the lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150 truck, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years and counting, or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And check out the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford Memorial Day Sell-a-thon, and it's your chance to save. Whether it's gas, hybrid, or all-electric, now's the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers end soon. So go to your California Ford dealer today, based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Players of all abilities will tell you that Bartley Cavanaugh Golf Course is the area's #1 course for fun. Whether you're a beginner or an accomplished player, Bartley Cavanaugh has something for you. It's a great walking course, but motorized carts are available too. The moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas will add to your satisfaction and smiles for the day. Near the banks of the picturesque Sacramento River, Bartley Cavanaugh's Tap House Restaurant offers tasty food, whether you play golf or not. For tee times, visit bartleycavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, we know it's still fairly early, but in a poll conducted by MLB.com, A's shortstop Jacob Wilson was the runaway leader for American League Rookie of the Year. And why not? He leads AL rookies in virtually every important offensive category. The last A's Rookie of the Year? Andrew Bailey back in 2009.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer and a time to reflect on the blessings we enjoy living in this country. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At Naturewood's Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. It's like 2 sales in one. Take 10% off regular prices or get 24 months of no-interest financing with payments on approved credit. Then you can choose from living rooms, sofas, sectionals, dining rooms, bedrooms, home offices, and so much more. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, you can shop and save big on the best selection of quality furniture, including Sacramento's largest selection of furniture made in the USA. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for that water wheel.
It's the Memorial Day Sell-a-thon now through Monday at Folsom Lake Ford. Get employee pricing plus low finance rates with approved credit now through Monday. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
A's Phillies going down this weekend, starting today. I think I'm going to be in the building today. You know, I have my connection to Philly, so and I want to see some good baseball. You know, I had a couple people texting me from PA asking if I'll be out there, and they said, "Oh, Allen, you know, the Phillies are kind of rolling now, and they're headed to Sacramento. What do you think?" I said, "I think based on how the A's are doing right now, the Phillies are looking to get a couple more W's. I think they'll leave Sacramento with a couple more W's. The A's have been struggling to put it lightly. They are, just confirm the number. I know it's 7 or 8 at this point. But yeah, the A's are now last in the AL West. They're 22-29. They're 8-17. I believe they've lost 7 or 8 straight. They are 1-9 in their last 10. And look, there is hope, and this is where I will go with that hope, because everybody loves future, and everybody loves the future. And the future is now with the A's. They're already young, but in the midst of not even 24 hours apart, I don't know if I've ever seen something like this before. And I know guys have been struggling. I know there are a couple injuries, not a ton. So outfielder Denzel Clark is being called up. That came out 15 hours ago. Okay, he's and Martin Gallegos, who we've had on the show before, probably due for another meeting. Martin Gallegos says that Clark is off to a hot start in AAA Las Vegas, and the A's believe he's already a Gold Glove caliber center fielder. I'll tell you what, I was just joking about that J.J. Bleday and Lawrence Butler snafu in the outfield a couple losses ago. So maybe they're thinking, one of those guys where whenever they say Gold Glove caliber defender, to me it sounds like we want to see if the hitting can get there. And it sounds like with the AAA Las Vegas squad, he's been hot hitting it. Let's see if he can continue. Then, not even 24 hours later, the A's are also coming up number 30 prospect, Logan Davidson. So Logan Davidson, he was a first-round pick in 2019. So I know that sounds like he's been in the bigs for a long time now. But basically, the A's are saying, all right, let's switch some things up here. Let's see what else we got going on. And he's a very versatile player, a super utility guy, and, excited to see what he does at the big league level. So the A's are saying, all right, enough is enough a little bit. I'm definitely going to pay attention to who's starting, who's not starting. We have a lot of conversations, and Eric Martin's on the show once a week. And that's the tough thing in all of these sports. Really, it goes from, okay, we have time to, all right, we're losing a lot of games here and we're losing a lot of ground. So we have to make some type of change. So exciting stuff for the A's amidst all of the losing that has been happening recently. And get on out there to the ballpark if you haven't already. You know that it's only going to get hotter and more crowded. So, excited for the A's to at least have guys to go to. But of course, and I got some of these quotes here. This was after they dropped their 8th consecutive game. And that was on Wednesday night. And Mark Kotsay saying it's kind of been a perfect storm right now. We're in it right now. Set of the losing skid. The outing we got from Severino was what we needed. This one hurts. We turn the ball over, who's been great all season, or to Holman, who's been great all season. The ball that he was trying to go down and go away from, runs it back over, and it goes over the fence. Next thing you know, we're down again. And, they lose that game. That was after the Wednesday loss. So it's been rough sledding for the A's, and it ain't going to get easier against the Phillies, but get on out there, see some good baseball. And, there's a, I don't know what I can say at this point, but there's a certain cart. Okay. It's called ciders, and, what rhymes with sliders. It's a beverage. I don't know. I think I can say this. I gotta ask Dave.
That works.
Right. Okay.
I think we know what you're talking about.
And it stares me in the face whenever I'm doing River Cats games. And I just keep saying, I need to try it. So that's the goal today. Hopefully the A's get back on the winning side of things. 1-9 in their last 10 games. And it's been rough. It's been rough sledding. All right. As we keep the conversation going and we discuss what in the world Brock Purdy is up to now, this is what Brock Purdy had to say about being a top 10 quarterback. Of course, there's been a lot of conversations as far as Brock and is he 7? Is he 12? This is what Brock had to say.
Are you a top 10 quarterback in the NFL?
Yes, sir.
So we make lists all the time. You know, that's all we do here on Sports Talk Radio. Like, is that like something you hear about?
Like lists and stuff.
Yeah, like you put yourself. Yeah, put yourself amongst your peers.
Yeah, no, I think for sure I'm a top 10 quarterback. You know, I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna, create a list or anything right now. So
that was Brock Purdy. Says, I'm not making a list. And of course, he's not going to sit there and make a list. Oh, well, CJ Stroud and Patrick Mahomes, he's not going to make a list. But I like what Brock is saying. What else? And again, I like what Brock is saying. What else is he supposed to say? Are you top 10 quarterback? No.
Yeah, what line is he supposed to say no at? Like, if they ask him, like, he's top,
nothing.
Yeah, you should just say I'm the best.
Nothing. But this is what got John Morant in trouble. What did he say? We ain't worried about the West. What did he say?
But that was crazy.
What was that famous? It wasn't we ain't worried about the West.
We're cool in the West.
We're fine in the West.
Yeah, we're just worried about Boston is what he said.
And I clearly haven't been to a Western Conference Finals. So was that the year the Jordan Poole swipe on the knee and they said it was dirty? I don't know.
Who knows what year?
We're cool in the West. We're cool in the West. And I don't know what Brock is supposed to say there besides exactly what he said. I think Brock handled it perfectly. And he has an opportunity to show people because I'm on record kind of poo-pooing all of the Brock hate in that I find that being in the Bay Area, being in Sacramento, everybody kind of wants to be a good story. And obviously Brock is a great story. He doesn't have to try to be a good story. But I thought we got to a point where people understood, where we were all under the understanding that Brock is a top second tier guy. There were conversations, I think on the Niners side, I'm just talking about media and others, they were trying to do could he be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes good? And I take him over Lamar and just kind of crazy stuff there. So I think that has chilled out a little bit after last season, I think. And y'all know who I'm talking about if you follow Niners media on YouTube, social media, whoever. I think that chilled out. What I also thought, it's almost like the ceiling and the floor. I thought the floor raised from people saying that Brock is completely a product of his environment and he's not this, he's not that. I thought we were also done with that. And every day I go on social media or watch a show or whatever, and there are still a lot of people that think that Brock is just a product of his environment. And when I say product of his environment, just to the nth degree, just taking it a little far, like he wouldn't be anything without his weapons. And then that becomes a conversation of, well, that's everybody. I saw Colin, the Cowherd, say that Brock is just Tua in the West or a right-handed Tua. And that's crazy to me. And y'all know I'm not high on Tua at all, but that's nuts. Like, we're still doing that. We're still doing that. And maybe I'm tripping and maybe I'm low on Tua, but that to me, stuff like that, when I see those quotes and it's not just him, it's Chris Sims, it's whatever, makes me think, okay, I guess Niners fans aren't playing victim. There are still a lot of people that disrespect Brock Purdy. There really are. And I didn't want to believe it. I didn't think it was the case, but it is. It is. All right. We have Anthony giving me silence, which means we got to go to break. 1 o'clock hour coming up next. Down South Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There are so many benefits of working with the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Now, we chose them to get our new garage doors, and we're so thrilled that we did. They look absolutely amazing. Jason Ross here. And for us, well, we just flat out needed new garage doors. But maybe you do as well, or maybe it's just repairs to your existing doors. Well, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento can help you with that. It is also a great time of year because this is when homes go on the market. So is yours ready? Well, one thing, don't forget about that garage door, because a new garage door can increase the value of your home. First off, with Curb Appeal, a new modern or stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your house. Also, the return on investment. It is one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. You can see for yourself. Just visit the showroom off Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
I'm Sia, and I support Humane World for Animals, formerly called the Humane Society of the United States. Together, we have created a new version of Peter Gabriel's beautiful song, Salisbury Hill, to celebrate Humane World for Animals and everything they do. Enjoy the song and join us in helping Humane World for Animals end animal cruelty.
Get ready for a summer of music, comedy, and thrills with the Sacktown Sports Live events calendar. Kick it off with punk legends The Damned at Ace of Spades May 31st. Then laugh it up with comedian Kathleen Madigan at Hard Rock Live Sacramento June 7th. Country fans, mark your calendars. Whitey Morgan and the 78s roll into town June 19th, followed by jam-packed June 21st. Painted Love is at Ace of Spades. Lee Bryce and Walker Hayes are at Ironstone Amphitheater, and Penn and Teller are at Thunder Valley. Then it's 3 days of music and wine at the Country Summer Music Festival, June 27th through the 29th at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. Don't miss the tradition and thrills of the Folsom Pro Rodeo, July 3rd through 5th, followed by country superstar Cody Johnson at Golden One Center, July 18th. August brings legends. Catch Rick Springfield August 1st and Parker McCollum at the Ironstone Amphitheater June 16th. Grab your tickets now and don't miss a beat. Only with Sacktown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here reminding you to gear up for Memorial Day and summer barbecue parties at Amy's Outdoor Living, your grilling headquarters. Now, while others have raised prices, Amy's is keeping their low prices through May 26th. Weber, Traeger, Rectech, Blackstone. New Traeger Woodridge, $200 off at $6.99. The popular Weber Genesis starts at $7.99. $7.99. Rectech pellet grills, my brother's favorite, lowest price of the year. And Gosney pizza ovens, I've had mine for a year. I love it. Starts at $3.99 plus no sales tax on in-stock patio furniture through May 26th. You need umbrellas or cushions? Amy's has a great supply in many colors. Memorial Day is the perfect time to get that new barbecue grill you want. Amy's Outdoor Living in 2 locations. In Sacramento on El Camino near Watt, and in the El Dorado Town Center.
Memorial Day celebration comes early at Elk Grove Honda. There's no need to wait for Memorial Day weekend to see, test drive, and purchase your brand new Elk Grove Honda. Civic hybrids, Accord hybrids, CRV hybrids, and Pilots, Passports, Odysseys, HRVs, Prologue EVs, and so much more. They're all available right now at attractive prices. Whether you're looking to own or lease and can't wait until Memorial Day, visit Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. We have the right Honda at the right price.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Allen Stiles.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
1 o'clock hour, one more hour with ya. No Whitey Gleason today. His birthday was yesterday. And I believe Draper's out too. So no crosstalk, I don't believe, at 1:45. So we will have some fun with you up until 2 o'clock. Not that when we have on Whitey, it's not fun, but we're going to keep rocking and rolling with you. 530 says, why are you low on Tua? Is it the injuries? Just all of the above. I wasn't. And you know what? I should love Tua. Lefty, undersized. I should definitely love Tua. But then I watched him play football, and when it matters, you know, he goes, and I know it's Mahomes, but he goes to New England, or he goes to Buffalo, he goes to Kansas City. It's just, I just don't think he's that good. I don't think he's terrible, but I probably wouldn't have paid him. And then you have injuries too. If I were the Dolphins, you know, it's pretty similar to the NBA when it comes to having a dude, right? We look at the conference finals right now, and they all have dudes. Now, some of those guys like Tyrese Haliburton and Jalen Brunson are just now entering the conversation, and you could argue Anthony Edwards as well, but they all have their cornerstones, right? And the same thing we talked about yesterday, where, hey, you're kind of trying to convince yourself that Keegan or Kuminga or whoever is going to be one of those guys, where it should just be pretty obvious. The Dolphins are still trying to convince themselves that Tua is one of those guys, and he's not. He's a good quarterback, but I don't think that they have put the correct team around him in order for him to be successful. I think that it's similar to Brock or Jared Goff, all these second-tier guys, that you need to build a strong team all around them. And then you still don't win a Super Bowl, because Jared Goff has been, Brock Purdy has been, but they have not won it. So for me, Tua, and then you pay him that money, and they never really have a run game. All they can do is just throw deep balls or short passes to Tyreek Hill, who I'm pretty sure wants out of Miami, or likes to joke about wanting out. So if I'm the Dolphins, I would just say, do we really – sometimes I just close my eyes, obviously not when you're driving, and you close your eyes and you think, can I see this guy holding up the Lombardi? And I know, and again, this has been a very old school show. We have all the old school sayings. But when I close my eyes, I cannot see Tua holding up the Lombardi. I cannot see Geno Smith holding up the Lombardi. I could see Brock Purdy holding up the Lombardi. I could. Part of that is because he's got Kyle Shanahan. And part of the thing with Tua is I don't even know how good Mike McDaniels actually is. So I close my eyes. It's kind of the it factor thing. Do I see this guy holding up the Lombardi? Out of the tier twos, let's not do Josh Allen, or obviously Patrick Mahomes has. And because, you know, Jalen Hurts is a tier two, in my opinion, high level tier two that held it up. So out of the tier twos, when I close my eyes, do I see them holding a Lombardi? Baker Mayfield. Do I see Baker Mayfield? Can I close my eyes and see that?
I would love it. I think
I would too,
because
he might just throw it into the stands.
It'd be the craziest Super Bowl to watch Baker Mayfield.
I don't know if I can, man. And you know what's weird? I can't see Baker Mayfield holding it, but I could see Jared Goff. And I don't know if maybe that's because the Lions are better.
I think it's because of the team.
You know? I don't know.
Like, do you believe in Tampa Bay that much? You know? It's
No.
like, yeah, exactly. I believe in the Lions as well. So I think that is where the line is. But on the Tua thing, I think that Tua is hilarious to watch. There's those players sometimes where there's just those mistakes. And I know that being a quarterback's hard, and I'm not like down there on the field, but there's some funny things that happen. And I still think he's good. It's just those mistakes really bring his stock down.
They're just head scratching.
Yeah.
They're just head scratching. So Jordan Love, could I see Jordan Love holding up the Lombardi? No. I think he's a really aesthetically pleasing player. I like watching him play, but Jordan Love, and he's had some health situations go on. I can't see it right now.
But is it because the Packers aren't as good as the Lions?
Maybe.
Or like
I said, there's no rules today.
There's no rules.
There's no rules. It's
Friday.
just a feeling. Kyler Murray, hell no. Hell no.
I can't see it either. In the current situation, I think this has a lot to do with how good the teams are.
CJ Stroud, yes. Yes.
Let's just go down the standings and draw the line.
209 is saying on the Brock Purdy top 10 conversation, let's say you're in the Super Bowl. You've got one game to win. List the 10 quarterbacks in the NFC over Brock. But this wasn't about the NFC, so I'm not going to do that. He didn't say top 10 in the NFC. He said top 10, period.
Yeah.
Or did they mean we could play the game and say you meant NFL?
Yeah, I think they just want to know who we put ahead of him.
Sure. And
who do you put?
Sure. To win the Super Bowl, Mahomes, that's 1. Burrow, 2. Lamar, 3. Josh, 4. I got to do Jalen Hurts now, 5. This is where it gets Stafford, 6.
Where do you put like Goff and like Baker Mayfield? I think those are the fun ones.
Right. But by the way, I never said Brock wasn't top 10. I'm saying there are haters out there. I had Brock number 7 going into last season. So I don't even have my current top 10. Jared Goff, over. That's the problem with it's over, right? I do think Brock is a top 10 quarterback. I just think he's either 8, 9, or 10.
Yeah, and I think that's fair to say. It's kind of hard to tell exactly, but I think that the conversation about him saying it is important because I think that that's good. The confidence that he has is really impressive, and I think that you need that, like we talked about yesterday.
CJ,
as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, CJ is in there over Brock. Yeah, sure. I'll put him over Brock. Dak, I don't know. Dak is weird. He gets paid a lot of money, though. 530 says Jordan Love over Jared Goff. Jordan Love, I maybe he'll put it together, but Jordan Love to me is just, like I said, really when he's rolling, you're thinking, man, this dude is like a more mobile Aaron Rodgers, and he's got all the, he does a lot of the same mannerisms and things like that, and then you just see him just completely fall off a cliff, and what in the world is going on? So that's where I'm at on the quarterback conversation. Obviously, during the summer, it will continue to come up. The Kings may not have a pick in the first round of the first draft of this season, but what about the second draft as we evaluate young, untapped talent throughout the league? So I got this term from Chris Watkins during the roundtable yesterday. If you missed the roundtable, you can check that out on YouTube. So I got this from Chris Watkins, the second draft, right? The second draft. And basically the second draft is, I don't know. I don't know if Aaron Gordon would fit into this when he went to the Nuggets, because second draft to me means you're still kind of young. Aaron Gordon, when he went to the Nuggets, feels like he was close to 30.
Yeah, I don't think he counts. But
no, that's not a
think
second draft situation.
A good one that Chris brought up was Chris Duarte.
Okay.
Who was he didn't work out on the Pacers, and then we look and he still didn't work out.
He didn't, but he was
that is
24, 25.
Second chance.
So can the Kings kind of look at guys like that? And that's kind of a Jake LaRavia idea. Jake LaRavia is under that age, but second team, kind of second draft. I don't know that Jake LaRavia is a starter in this league, but that doesn't mean that, he's not going to be successful and not going to help out a team at a high level. So I think the Kings have already kind of done that, bringing in Jake LaRavia. Can they hold on to him? That's part of the question as well. But other guys in that 23 to 26 age range, that wherever Patrick Williams ends up next, that would be a kind of second. Do you want to take a chance on that? I don't know if I would take a chance on Patrick Williams, but guys like that where it's, hey, are you missing something here, or you are getting time? Is it possible that you'll be able to do more?
Yeah, I think that the general consensus of how I understand the second draft is you see someone who isn't getting a shot
Mm-hmm.
and you think that a different situation will help you actually understand what kind of a player he is.
Right.
Similar to Obi Toppin, I think is a great example.
Yeah.
Stuck behind Julius Randle playing 40 minutes a game.
Yes.
He didn't get that much of a run in New York. Looked good, but like you don't really know how good Obi Toppin is, and then you trade him and he does what he did, but with more minutes. And that's good. That's good enough.
Did you see that whole situation with Obi Toppin when he was signing something and a New York Knicks fan said that's why we got rid of you or something, which is crazy after a loss. But Obi Toppin said where he was staying, he said, my hotel is blah, blah, blah. Pull up.
That's crazy.
To pull up there.
Love that.
If you got a problem. Because, yeah, I mean, and you know, fans, they're well lubricated, okay, at these games. And, you know, they're definitely enjoying themselves. But it's, what are we talking about, man?
And it's New York.
And it's New York, which it was really fun watching New York lose. It really was. And I'm not being a hater here, I promise. I don't need to see Timothy Chalamet with Kylie again. To me, I might sound crazy, we're getting to Taylor Swift levels.
Maybe a little bit. They are showing him a lot.
A lot.
Which is weird because
and he's a guy, so nobody cares, and he's with Kylie, so this guy's awesome. He's an actor and he knows ball, so it's cool. I've seen enough.
Yeah, I could see how you could feel that way.
We get it.
Yeah.
We get it. And also, we know Shea and Nikhil are cousins. We know that now.
I want to see Ben Stiller more.
Yes, we know that now. That's the crazy thing. Right. It's not like they're in Sacramento and it's just 50 Cent, right? Or in Indiana. There's plenty. Show Larry David more or whoever.
Yeah. You have a whole row.
I'm going to count
row is there.
I'm going to count it today. I'm going to count the Timothy Chalamet. And if I have to see another picture with him with a Nick, okay, he was a fan. He was a fan that became an actor. That's awesome. We don't need to, I was going to say, well, we have more sayings here that we'll get to on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Horse.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, you know, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now? It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hey, Sacramento, join Allen Stiles at Sacktown Sports, Sunday from 1 till 3 at Fasteners Tool Outlet off Power Inn Road. And fill your freezer with 20 ribeyes for only $40. You don't want to miss this.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
So this is what happened. Sacktown Horse is what I said before the break, because I was going to say beat a dead horse, and I was also going to say that it feels like those sayings are not okay anymore. Kill two birds with one stone, beat a dead horse. I feel like you can't really say those. You can, right? But I've heard people say, hey, maybe not. Other ways to say it. So I don't say them anymore, but then I was going to say it in that moment, and then I decided against saying it, and then I said Sacktown Horse. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Horse. And then the music played, and there's no there's no undoing it. It's Allen Stiles, Sacktown Horse. That's what it is now. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Javi, who's got a trade deal for us. What's up, Javi? What you got for us today?
How you doing, Mr. Stiles? Hard to get through lately. I don't know why, but 2 weeks trying to get this trade off. But hopefully, I get some time.
Well, we get you. We get you when we get you, Javi. You know.
Sorry, like I said, I'm kind of upset that Kyle's here. I know he'd be the quick in the first one to say, "No way, this would work." But I would offer the Cavaliers Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Isaac Okoro coming to Sacramento. I think they need to change the starting lineup. Way too many wins in the last 2 seasons with lack of productivity in the playoffs. They need to shake up the starting lineup. They get Sabonis, DeRozan, Terrence Davis, the 27 first-round pick we got in the Levine deal, with both those seconds that we just got available, that the pick to Atlanta is now conveyed in the Kevin Hurt exchange, the trade acquisition, and even getting that 31 pick rather we got in the Levine deal. And why this works. It's not about, oh, why would the Cavs do that? Because with all that talent, all them wins, they don't have a dominant scorer that they can offset Mitchell when he's not going crazy in the postseason. Also, all them wins have accumulated to how much playoff success the last 2 to 3 seasons. Thirdly, Sabonis and Mitchell, that is a way better tandem with him compared to him and Jared Allen in the postseason and or overall in totality. And just imagine how well Evan Mobley would play. It would be Mitchell, DeRozan. You'd have anywhere from, depending on who they want to put at the 3, DeAndre Hunter. Then you have Evan Mobley and Sabonis. The Kings, they get their guard in Garland. Then they'll have Levine, Murray. They'll obviously have Jared Allen. And whether you want to play, I think you put Okoro at the 3 and then kick Murray to the 4, either or. But Okoro is very long, lengthy, has great wingspan. I think it's a win-win. I know people are like, no. The Kings need to make a swing. The Cavs need to make some sort of change. Unless they want to go back, running back for 3 years straight. They get an all-pro center, or all-star center in Sabonis, a reliable Hall of Fame shooting guard in DeRozan, Terrence Davis to throw in. They get 1. I would go no more than 2. I think 1 first-round pick and the 2 seconds would be enough. We get our point guard, we get a rim protector, a lob threat, and we get a great perimeter defender in Okoro. I think both teams win. I think that gets us back to 45 wins plus. I know everyone's going to be like, that's ridiculous. You have to give to get, and that goes to the Cavaliers too. If they want to go win 64 games again and go get bounced in a second, you have at it, man. I just want to see what you think. We get our point guard and a lob threat and a defensive wing on the perimeter, and they get an all-star center and a Hall of Fame shooting guard that's more liable to score in the postseason, with Terrence Davis as a good bench 3-point shooter, sir, and picks.
Thanks for the call, Javi. It's less about me thinking that the trade is crazy and more so thinking that it wouldn't happen, right? I mean, I don't know that it's as crazy as Javi thinks that we will think it is. It's more about trades like that just don't typically go down. We were just talking about Darius Garland too. So you'd have Darius Garland at the point, obviously Jared Allen, and then you'd have Keegan, Zach LaVine. So who is the last starter there? I guess Okoro, because DeMar is now gone. Or I guess it's the same idea. Is it Keon? I guess you cannot start Malik and Darius Garland together.
No,
because now you still have Zach LaVine.
Then you have a defensive guy off the bench. I kind of see the logic.
I see the logic,
especially for the Cavs. I think that the Cavs do need to make a change.
Okay,
and taking a big swing would be a thing for them. I think that they need to do something to get the load off Donovan Mitchell scoring.
I will say that the Cavs conversation, we spoke with a Cavs writer earlier this week. I will say that I'm trying to figure out the consensus out there. It does feel like the Cavs are being more realistic than, we were injured. It does feel like Cavs fans and media are saying, you were injured, but you also weren't good enough. So I don't know that they're giving themselves the pass that they probably could. And it speaks to the fact that maybe they feel like, hey, we had a really good season, but we just, is Donovan Mitchell championship number one? We don't know. Is DeMontis Sabonis and DeMar DeRozan going to help that? Maybe. Like I said, I think it's less about the actual deal and more about, all right, would something that big really happen? But we're talking about a league that traded Luka Doncic, so really anything can happen, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, anything could happen, but I don't know. I feel like Cleveland had been there before. Like, this isn't their first year there, so I could see them doing something that no one really expects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their front office might be working on something, and if the Kings are involved with it, then that's cool. But
Yeah.
I don't know how high I am on Okoro. I think he's good at defense. I
Mhm.
don't know if I value him as much as...
But now you can have Keegan build the bag a little bit, build the offensive bag. Darius Garland can distribute the basketball.
Yeah, the upside's there. I kind of like where he was going with it.
Mhm. I like it. Would something that big happen is more so where I'm at. But I do like it. Great stuff, Javi. I would say ranking the Javi trades, that's definitely on the upper echelon. And for the Cavs side, I guess you kind of find out, and Donovan Mitchell had a great season. Their offense, not as 3-point heavy as the Celtics, but it did feel, because, you got Jared Allen, guys like that, but it did feel like they like to put it up. So it could work. When we return, so it's 2025, and we're just repackaging the LeBron and MJ thing in a different way again. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, Athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Bring the whole family to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. It's more than a game. It's an experience your kids will never forget. Enjoy exciting action on the field, delicious ballpark food, and fun activities for all ages. From meeting Dinger the mascot to running the bases every Sunday, there's something for everyone. Create lasting memories with your family this season. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
The hot weather is coming. Is your HVAC system ready for it? Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating make sure it is. Get to Lee'sAirPlumbingandHeating.com. Check out their $99 HVAC tune-up special. And let me tell you why Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating is the way to go. They took care of me when our heater collapsed over the winter, and Lee's set us up with a great new HVAC system that is providing comfort, value, and quality. Let Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating take care of you. License number 635355.
For 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Nighttime is fun time at the Hagen Oaks Top Tracer driving range. It's more relaxed at night with people enjoying technology, where you can play Pebble Beach at Hagen Oaks, compete against your friends in a variety of games, or just practice at your leisure. There's food when you're hungry from Hangout Eats and Drinks opening late May, or enjoy a beverage on a brand new patio with relaxed seating. And check out the summer-long free concert schedule. It's the Hagen Oaks driving range nightly until midnight, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6814. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6814. 800-575-6814. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's the Memorial Day Sell-a-thon now through Monday at Folsom Lake Ford. Get employee pricing plus low finance rates with approved credit now through Monday. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, so this is pretty crazy. It is. I'm reading this MLB trade rumors, and the worry is that Denzel Clark, Canadian outfielder, just got pulled up to the A's. He's going to be their starting center fielder. This is kind of a big deal because in this article, they say, hey, he's struggling. He struggles to hit, but he is elite as a center fielder, which we talked about before. This is what I thought was interesting. It's unlikely the A's would bring Clark up for sporadic playing time. He might push J.J. Bleday out of the starting center field role. Clark should immediately provide a big defensive upgrade over Bleday, a natural corner outfielder who has graded as one of the worst defensive center fielders over the past 2 seasons. J.J. Bleday has been optioned to AAA. He's been optioned to AAA. This is from CBSSports.com. The Athletics' everyday center fielder Bleday will attempt to find his swing in the minors after hitting .204 with 6 home runs, 18 RBIs, 26 runs, scored 1 stolen base, and a 21-41 walk to strikeout ratio across 189 plate appearances. Freshly up from AAA, Denzel Clark looks like the next man up in the center position for the Athletics. So JJ Bleday, I mean, again, all right, we're playing you enough, and I always get really curious about center field and right field, like how Mookie Betts, who would have thought that Mookie Betts would have played shortstop before center for the Dodgers, right? Obviously, the Dodgers had Jock Peterson and guys like that, and then Jock Peterson, was no longer a center fielder, but you've had different situations where Mookie could have slid in there and we got to keep Mookie in right field, but then they'll put kind of random guy or more random guys in right or in center field. And Cody Bellinger played a lot of center in LA, but Mookie never played center, but then you found him at shortstop and second base. So I guess I say all this to say Denzel Clark, yeah, he's a Gold Glover, or they think he could be a Gold Glover center fielder. I think there are a lot of those, not a lot, but a lot of guys that are good defensively but can't figure it out. Long story short, and I know Lawrence Butler's been struggling too, and I don't even know if he's going to be in the starting lineup. They just signed him on that contract, but no shout at Lawrence Butler in center field. I saw him playing center field a couple days ago, but they want to they're trying to throw Denzel Clark into the pool and see if, is that another one?
Throw someone into the pool.
Yeah.
See
if they can swim.
That, I guess.
Does that count?
It might count. Add it to the list.
This has just been all about how many times I say kind of old saying. So Denzel Clark will be starting today. And that's That's some fun stuff. Should be a highlight in an otherwise pretty rough 10-game stretch for the A's. He will be in the starting lineup. GM David Forrest said the plan is for him to play pretty regularly as their starting center fielder. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm back on the list now. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't. Oh, yeah, that's the normal.
We got that one.
The normal one. This isn't my first rodeo.
I like that.
You're barking up the wrong tree. The apple never falls far from the tree. You're a day late and $1 short. It'll all come out in the wash. It was like herding cats. Does that mean it was difficult? Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, that's got it. Yeah.
It was difficult. Let's see here. Did I say? Oh, I see a watch pot never boils. That's the throwback from the beginning of the show.
I think that we're realizing how much you just say these.
I do.
Like,
and now I have a whole new list.
Yeah, and they're going to be stuck in your head. I'm excited about my list. I'm going to use big enough to go bear hunting with a switch.
That's right. That sounds like something G-Man would say.
Yeah.
Or Jerry Reynolds.
Yeah. It's an old.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's a classic. Let's see here. If you lie with dogs, you'll get fleas. That's a lot right here.
Yeah, and we could use all these in sports as well.
Oh,
I think I'm excited to start using these while just talking to my friends about stuff.
And just see if they catch on. Hey, why are you talking like that?
Why can't you talk normal?
You're like, this is from David Falk, and David Falk was MJ's longtime agent. So we're still doing this apparently. I really like LeBron, but I think if Jordan had cherry-picked what teams he wanted to be on and two other superstars, he would have won 15 championships. That's 15.
Sure, man.
Maybe there's a little hyperbole there. And it's so funny saying this because LeBron doesn't have 6 and maybe he'll get to 6. I don't know that he will, but it's just so funny that this thing is just going to continue and it will never end. And if you're on one side, I just look at it like politics, right? And, people will say, and I don't know who's telling the truth or lying these days, but, oh, yeah, I just switched. I was on this side for 15 years. I don't know if you're doing that or if you're just trying to go viral. I don't know how anybody feels nowadays. But if you're on the LeBron side, clearly MJ's done playing. So if you're on the LeBron side, you're never leaving the LeBron side. If you're on the MJ side, I guess if LeBron found his way to 6, you could be swayed, but I don't think you are. Neither side is changing. So why are we continuing to do this? And the 15 championships, I'd have to go back and look at he won 6 straight. So we'd have to look at the years where he didn't win them, what teams he could have been on.
Yeah. The whole conversation has always just been more about who you grew up watching. Like, my mom will tell me that Michael Jordan is the greatest thing to ever happen. And then I'll be like, I was 14 and watched LeBron do the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
So you have LeBron as your GOAT?
Yeah, but I'm not going to argue with someone who says Michael Jordan. I believe you. I wasn't there.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
You're 23?
I'm 23.
Oh, well, yeah. Are you younger than Kyle?
Same age, I think.
Oh, what are we talking about?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
You barely saw LeBron.
I saw LeBron.
You barely saw LeBron.
Okay, I was there end of heat being
this
conscious.
Is crazy.
Yeah. So that whole conversation is I can't argue with someone who thinks that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time.
You know what's hilarious? I'm looking here, and maybe that was part of the joke. MJ played 15 seasons, period. So 15 championships.
Yeah, I think that someone could make an argument that Jordan could have played longer without
maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the ring. So he did the second. MJ got in his own way with the retirements, but at 34, when he retires for the second time, that's when, if he just started ring chasing at that point at 34, maybe.
Yeah, but Jordan's also the way that people talk about him is how Melo wouldn't come off the bench.
Yeah.
I feel like that was just him messing around. I think that Michael Jordan would actually throw a fit if you told him to come off the bench.
It's crazy.
Did he ever come off the bench at the end for the Wizards? I don't think so.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, like I feel like he's the type of guy to actually not want that to happen. So I don't really know how he could ring chase if he's not like the greatest player in the world right now. Like we're talking about Michael Jordan ring chases.
Yeah. I saw somebody say that they are not excited for, it might have been Dan Levitard. I'm not excited for anything that Michael Jordan has to say, or I'm not intrigued because what is he going to be? I can't keep up. Is it NBC? One of them.
Yeah.
He's going to be on one of them.
He's going to NBC as like a special contributor, which means he'll be on sometimes, I assume.
And Dave was all hyped up on this. Well, maybe earlier this week or last week. He could get the Pope on. He could get whoever. Okay. We just went through, and he's not, him and Tom Brady are not the same. But Tom Brady was fine. A lot of people made fun of Tom Brady. Now, this is play-by-play, so it's a little different. But is Michael Jordan all of a sudden going to be this super charismatic guy? I mean, in his heyday, he was when he was a player. But post-playing Michael Jordan, I think he just likes to go to the casino and smoke cigars and be rich. Like, I don't know. And maybe I'm underselling it because I'm not 23. I'm 35. So I saw a lot more of MJ, and he was a charismatic guy, but from a media perspective, I haven't seen it. So,
I mean, I think that just from what I've seen with his charisma, I think he could come through in a way that like Shaq and Charles Barkley are. But like, if he's open and he's there more often, I feel like the reason why Barkley has all those funny moments is because he's on the air for like 3 hours every time there's a game on TNT.
Well, and the thing with MJ is you're tuning in because you want to hear stories and things like that. I guess you want to know, hey, what does MJ think of the foul baiting? What does he think of SGA or Jalen Brunson? Is he just going to be a hater, right? Like a lot of the other OGs, I don't know. So I guess you're tuning in to see how he approaches all that. But yeah, I don't really know what we're going to get from him. And I always joke about the Mannings, but the Mannings, they do have some charisma to them, and they're funny, right? And they want to lean into it. That's all fine and good. I would have to see it from MJ to understand the hype. Dave talking about he could get whoever on. Yeah, sure. But what are they going to talk about?
Also, who is is he going to be on the air in that capacity to get people on? Like the Mannings watch the entire game together on a separate.
Yeah, he's not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So like if he's just like a special reporter who comes on for 10 minutes sometimes, I don't really care. I think it'd be good for like viral moments, right? You know, like the Bleacher Report's going to be all over that.
Oh, of course.
Like Michael Jordan said this, what?
Yeah.
Like that'll be good, I guess. I'd be interested maybe to see what he has to say, but like I don't really care that much.
Yeah, how is everything kind of adding up between who he'll be working with, what is going to be discussed? So I'm not off, but I'm not as juiced up as maybe. It's probably different levels of juice based on how old you are, and I think yours is probably not high at all. Mine is definitely higher than yours, but I also want to see what he's going to bring to the table. And a lot of these guys, like Bill Belichick, before he got the girlfriend, and he had a lot of fun. Very, very Hall of Fame coach, Bill Belichick, just like the rest of us. You run around, you have a bunch of fun, then you get a significant other, and now Bill is a completely different person. He had 1 year. Last year was the most fun we've ever seen Bill Belichick have. He finds his girl, and now Bill Belichick he just ruined everything. And I'm obviously kidding, but not for Bill Belichick, but in general. But now he's wifed up. He's not who he was last year, and now he's a completely different person. So maybe we'll see Michael Jordan in a way that we've never seen him before. I don't know, though. I doubt it. One more segment with you. We have some fun. We wrap up all of the old people sayings or the OG sayings, the OG bars that we've discussed, and we talk about the Knicks and Pacers and the games over the weekend. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Memorial Day celebration comes early at Elk Grove Honda. There's no need to wait for Memorial Day weekend to see, test drive, and purchase your brand new Elk Grove Honda. Civic hybrids, Accord hybrids, CRV hybrids, and Pilots, Passports, Odysseys, HRVs, Prologue EVs, and so much more. They're all available right now at attractive prices. Whether you're looking to own or lease and can't wait until Memorial Day, visit Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. We have the right Honda at the right price.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
San Francisco! What a laser from Brock Purdy, and what a catch.
San Francisco 49ers single game tickets are available now.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Fred gets up and runs back the other way. One block and he's in. Gonna throw left for the end zone. It's caught by George Kittle.
Secure your seats at 49ers.com/tickets.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
If you love golf but don't want to play the same 18 holes over and over, at Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, you get 27 holes of variety, so every round feels fresh. And with a Premier Club membership, you'll enjoy unlimited golf with a cart, unlimited range use, exclusive discounts, and 2 complimentary guest passes to share the experience. With pristine conditions, a scenic layout, and an award-winning reputation, Timber Creek and Sierra Pines is Sacramento's #1 rated golf destination. Stop waiting. Become a Premier Club member today at timbercreekgc.com.
When you think of hot, you might think about the tragic time you ate too much wasabi. Or about getting into your car on a summer day when it feels more like stepping into a sauna. But heat can work in your favor, like during Verizon Red Hot Deal Days. Get hundreds of hot deals on all your favorites, like iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence, Apple Watch Series 10, and iPad on any plan. Only until May 28th for new and existing customers. Offer available on My Plan. Only at Verizon.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
One more segment with you. I'm just looking here. I just didn't notice. even the A's communicate. I follow A's communication, so I get all the information about the moves that they made. I didn't realize they turned off their comments on Twitter. They don't even have their comments on. You can't get them anywhere.
Yeah,
you can't get to them anywhere.
I mean, I can see why. It's I assume they have it off on a lot more posts than just the recent stuff.
Oh, of course. Well, the A's, they've had it off forever, but it was interesting seeing A's PR. Well, I guess A's PR probably would get it would be unnecessary.
Yeah.
So that is, I've always wondered, when they go to Vegas, are they going to turn it back on, or whatever the situation is. What's your thoughts, Anthony? I'm just curious because I don't even know how I feel. What are your thoughts on obviously these guys are crazy knowledgeable about the game, but you get Michael Malone doing the Western Conference Finals, and it's so funny how they bring him in right after the Nuggets lose. I don't know that that's on purpose or not. He's talking about Shea. He is a foul artist. First, he said that Shea showed why he's the MVP. Then he not apologized, but said, "Hey, by the way, I voted for Jokic because people back home are giving me a hard time." What do you think about bringing guys in like that? Do you watch the game or watch the pre or post game thinking, "Oh, I like hearing from Michael Malone," or is it just do we have to do this? Do you think we're getting more out of it from a Michael Malone?
I think it's fun. Yeah. I think it's funny to see.
Or the drama aspect of it. Do you like that?
I think most of it is the drama aspect. I think that's why he's there. I think it's similar to like Bob Myers came in shortly after he quit the Warriors job. And he came in kind of smug about it too.
Right.
He was like, I got out of that fire.
Yeah. And all my terrible draft picks are stuck there.
Yeah. And I think that's a similar situation here. I'm excited for the drama. I like to hear Mike Malone talk. I think he's very knowledgeable as well. I like them having more coaches on. I think sometimes players are a little bit too like they say some stuff that's like, oh, you're new to what's going on here.
Yeah.
And even though they are knowledgeable as well, I just think that like a variety of types of people, like coaches, players, media people, I think that it's good when they add more people.
Yeah, and obviously they could choose from anyone. ESPN could, and they chose Michael Malone. And yeah, I think it's always interesting because everybody's looking for a soundbite nowadays. And I open my phone and Michael Malone calls SGA a foul artist. There's been 8,000 foul baiter, free throw merchant, foul artist, 1,000 ways to say the same thing. I was going to say, what, and then there was the other one, skin a cat. 1,000 ways to skin a cat.
I don't know that one.
Ramsey knows that one. Ramsey, back
do you know that one?
There's skin a cat.
You said yes.
But again, the animal ones I think are starting to cool off.
Yeah, I don't know if I've.
Well, now that I learned you're 13, I don't think that you did hear them either. So some of the other before we close out here from the 916. If I could, I would, but I can't, so I won't.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a classic. 530, a couple here. All is fair in love and war. Do as I say, not as I do. Oh my gosh.
I've heard that one a lot.
I'm getting PTSD from my childhood.
Yeah.
How many times, man? And my mom, I don't know if my mom is listening right now. I literally can hear her. Do as I say, not as I do. What is that?
It's
what do
funny.
you mean? I'm trying to remember in what situations she would say that, but I heard that all the time. All the time. Do as I say, not as I do. Oh my goodness. 530. This is another one. I think my mom might have a burner. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Yeah. That's like inspirational.
That's something that would be on the wall of like a teacher.
Yeah.
Like a third grade teacher would have that with like an inspirational photo of like a little duck or something.
Here's another one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. How did we miss that?
That's a good one.
How did we miss that?
Yeah, classic.
I got your it doesn't cut the mustard, which you had never heard of because you weren't alive yet.
But when they had mustard?
When they had literally. Hey, literally the skin the cat one's right here as well. I got 2 cats, so I would never be okay with that. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Are you familiar with that one?
Yes, I know that one.
Just
That's a
double
good one.
checking.
Yeah.
You're making a mountain out of a molehill.
Yes, I've heard that one before as well.
Oh my gosh, again, this is my grandmother, RIP. I lost my grandma a while ago now, but she's still with us. My daughter has her first name as her middle name. When I would be looking for something in the fridge, couldn't find it. If it had been a snake, it would have bitten you. That's the one. I might have to end with that one, man.
That is such a good one.
That is the one. Wow. I just got RIP, man. That was it. That was it. Okay, let's get into these weekend games and how we think things are going to end up. The Pacers at the Knicks. If you're feeling good, or if you want to feel good about the Knicks, and I got Knicks friends that are fans of the Knicks, and a lot of them are thinking this is something that had never happened, right? For Aaron Nesmith, what he did, no one has ever made 6 threes in the fourth quarter, either in the playoffs or in the NBA. It must have been in the playoffs in the history of the game. So if you're the Knicks, you're thinking it took the Pacers all of that to beat us. We're actually in a good spot. If you're the Pacers, you're thinking we stole one. We had no business winning that game. And now we could really put some pressure on them. We could win too. Who knows? Now we have home court advantage. Who do you think wins tonight?
I want to say the Knicks, but I think that mentality of we stole one, we can keep stealing them is how the Knicks beat Boston.
Right.
And I think that the mentality of that'll never happen again is how Boston lost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, Jason Tatum was there, but they were down 3-1 at that point.
Yes, it was already 3-1.
So yeah, I think that mentality is kind of rough depending on the way you look at it, but the Pacers are a miracle team. And I think you have to look at it from two different ways. It's like their luck's going to run out or they're destined to win everything. And I think that their luck's going to run out.
Yeah, and I'm just looking here just based on the schedule and when we'll come back on Monday. So game 2 is tonight. Game 3 is Sunday. I think the Knicks will get it, but they go so cold outside of Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. If they're not stopping the Pacers, and I know that's a little Captain Obvious here, but the Pacers just have way more weapons than the Knicks. I'm going to take the Knicks tonight because Timothée Chalamet will be there with Kylie. And if you didn't know, he was a huge fan of the Knicks growing up before he became famous.
Wow, I had no idea.
That's crazy. They never mention it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take the Knicks. And the Knicks alumni, they got to show the Knicks alumni every single time. Okay, cool.
I kind of like that.
Stephon Marbury is here at another game. Awesome. Yeah, I don't mind it as much as
I think that's cool.
So I got the Knicks tonight. Do the Timberwolves win a game? Are we on sweep watch?
I think that they win a game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got swept with the way that they're currently playing.
Yeah, I don't even think it'll be a gentleman's sweep. If they better win their first home game or they will be swept. If they win their game, obviously they get the W and maybe they get some momentum. But if they lose, there will be no gentleman's sweep. They will lose. They will get swept. Anthony, great job for filling in for Kyle. Kyle's back on Monday. Thank you for that. Thank you to all the callers, texters, Sack Chatters. Drive Guys up next. I don't know that any of the actual Drive Guys are here, though. We have our fearless leader, Jose Gonzalez, who's going to take you up to 6 until Monday. Get the bag like the beam.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise.